3, 2, 1. And come on, let's vape. Welcome to the VAbE, the podcast, or the VAbE experience.
And we're live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the VAbE, the experience. And in room with me tonight is Varun and AB Chan. Yeah. So
This is where I say hello.
that's how they greet.
All you can hear is crickets right
Exactly.
after our names. Yeah.
Absolutely. So we'll add that audio file as well later. But nevertheless, we've been sort of trying to figure out what sort of a thing should we be talking today. But of lately, certain conversations have led to certain expectations, and probably that's where we should be. So the topic for discussion for all of us tonight has to be expectations. Nothing to do with what expectation does and everything. And I don't know if we do have any solutions to it, but let's just approach it from an experience standpoint. How do we see experience through our own eyes? What have we seen through other people's eyes? What have we learned? What have we really burnt our hands with? Maybe learned it the hard way as well. So yeah, that's kind of the theme today. And again, hold back with us till the end. We got a beautiful song for you as always. And yep, that's the VAbE theme for today. So as the ritual goes, AB Chan, still want to take the back seat on
Let him take the back seat. You and me will go today.
let's do it. Let's go. So expectations. You want me to start, or Varun, you want to add something to it?
In a bit.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
So for me, at least at an individual level, experience and the various situations have taught me a lot in terms of my headspace management. Certainly, as a child, there have been various subjects that we've been taught, and mathematics is one of it, where there are definitive outcomes to definitive problem statements. Seeing back, I see that I try and apply the same template to probably every single facet of my life, wherein the variables are maximum. Things are certainly, a lot of things are beyond control, and a lot of things do change with say time, with situations, with other people's headspaces or their own life energies as such, the way I see it. But then again, what we can manage out of it, I'm not sure. I try to manage a lot of it, probably controlling the outcomes, probably trying to sort of say that, what, I've got the formula for the right mix, and only to realize that probably the universe had a different plan. So a lot of probablys here, but then fundamentally speaking, we do tend to really have it ingrained in us that there is a certain outcome that we are expecting out of a particular situation, out of a particular problem statement, and that's where probably I've been the least happiest and the most happiest as well. Seeing for what it is. Maybe I was expecting a better salary at times when I was actually needing or maybe sort of craving for it, or maybe sort of even beating myself up for it, but only to realize that when I lost 2 jobs and automatically when I least expected, I got the salary which I really have been sort of yearning for, and probably even beating myself up for. So yeah, I mean, it was very funny in how and very mysterious in how things really work. Yeah, so that's my 2 satoshis on expectations. But yeah, Varun, how about you? How has expectations really helped you, or maybe not helped you as well at times?
So first of all, he needs to throw a party for us with the much not so expected salary hike. This party is ever so much pending.
Yeah, we need to celebrate that actually.
But I got news for you. Now I have new salary expectations. So yeah,
that's the endless hamster
wheel that we are at.
Yep. All right. So expectations. So what I try to do is I'm super. One of the most inspiring things for me to read is Stoic philosophy.
Oh,
Okay,
oh wow.
Stoicism. So
I'm glad you got that. Yeah.
Marcus Aurelius and Seneca and all these people who
Mm.
lived like 2,000 years, more than 2,000 years prior to us, but
Right.
they sound like the gurus of today.
I agree.
So I live, I try to live my best in trying to incorporate all of that into my life as much as I can.
Yeah.
And where they talk about the work itself is the reward. I mean, this goes back as far as Gita, okay? Where
Okay.
the work that you do without any expectation, the work itself is the reward. The outcome
Right.
is not is a byproduct.
Okay.
Whatever
Okay.
happiness or whatever you derive from doing the work is a byproduct, is secondary.
Yeah.
Okay. The prize itself is doing the work. And to understand what I'm saying right now, to understand and to process that line pretty much takes a lifetime.
It does.
It's a very heavy, it's a deep, heavy line that the work itself is the reward and not the outcome itself. So expectations is one thing where, there's a famous quote which goes by, "Man plans and God laughs," right? That's the cliche saying. So you might be wherever in your journey, giving it your best. You do your best bit, and the ideal way would be you do your best bit with whatever you do, and have no expectations with it. That's easier said than done, because we're so thinking in our head all the time that, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do X to retain to get Y. And that's the expectation that's the formula that we follow in life with each and everything. You press the button, you get the candy. You pick up the phone, order the pizza, 30 minutes later, within 30 minutes, the pizza shows up or it's free. I don't know. I never got a free pizza, by the way.
Never did.
So
Never.
So that's the whole system, and it's so ever prevalent in every factor of life. All right, so expectations. I had no expectations of this topic tonight. So you can
Let's start with that.
Yeah. Let's start with that. So all right, so expectations. So you want to be like a productive human being out there, and when you give your best, you are wired in such a way that you get something in return.
Right.
You're doing something to have an
Exactly.
outcome.
Your motivation is the outcome.
Motivation is the outcome. And oftentimes, as life unfolds in front of you, you will notice that what you wanted quite did not get into material, like into actuality in front of you.
Right.
What the desired outcome was did not happen, but something else happened instead. So what really happened is you've given your best, and even if you don't get the desired outcome, life still leads you somewhere.
Exactly.
When one door closes, there are not even the other opens, there are various doors that open at the same time.
Or
Okay.
is it something that there are already various doors which you haven't
You're
really
just too bottlenecked into that one door, that one thing, you know, that you're so blinders of the horse mode.
Yeah.
That you can't really see that, hey man, this work in a way not happening is like a silver lining.
Sure.
If you're a spiritual person, you could put a spin on, okay, this is not meant for me. God wills me to be somewhere else. So
True.
whatever,
whatever the faith is. Yeah.
Correct. So that's my two pirate chain ARRRR coin. That's my two Satoshis on it. Because so it can be like the biggest thing that sets you free.
Yeah.
It could be the thing that chains you for life.
No, so I have just one follow-up question to that. So when you say that you are not outcome dependent or perhaps something of that sort, which shall definitely set you free, are you sort of looking at it more from a direction standpoint? By that I simply mean that I don't know if I'm going to earn, say, 10 lakh rupees in a year, but I know I want to walk towards that direction. Will that still, in your eyes, stand as an expectation as such?
Yeah, what can you do if you don't get there? You're going to keep trying.
Sure.
You're going to keep trying, right?
Yeah.
So it's you could say there's an expectation to that. You see, now that's the spin, right? You can't be completely living like a hermit under in a cabin inside the woods, having zero expectations and be a total tumbleweed. You know what a tumbleweed is?
Yeah.
Just flows with the wind. Zero
Correct,
expectations, zero duty.
Can't
Zero
lead
anything.
your life like that.
You
Agreed.
even to do nothing for human beings, there is a cost attached to it. You got to eat.
Oh,
You
100%.
got to do something. You got to
100%.
everything. I mean, you're a social animal. You need
True,
people around
true.
you, and everything comes at a cost. And there is a certain positive expectation attached to it.
Yeah.
And obviously, there is a negative expectation that, oh, poor me, look at me. Life is unfair because I could not get to a point where I was supposed to.
Exactly.
And that's a point where you just halt your brake and you check your map that, hey man, where the fuck am I? And
Right.
I need to take some alternative route or figure my way out of here right now.
Now comes is my sort of a tiny wee bit problem statement to it, that if I don't have, say, a very stable and a fixated relationship to a particular methodology, perhaps commitment to it, do you still feel, I mean, Abhijit, this is for you as well, that, I mean, if I don't have a plan B or a backup plan, and yet I am leading a particular way, so you really think, I mean, that's actually the way to go as such, or possibly maybe you want to see it through, or something of that sort. So I feel, do you understand what I'm trying to really,
Are you
sort of
saying
create?
not having a plan B and still moving ahead?
Correct.
Something like that?
Correct. And that's where, you somewhere say that, what, hey, I don't have a plan B, so I'm expecting this plan A to work really well. And have you ever thought of it from that angle in terms of
So often
expecting-
how it happens is, so mostly when I don't have plan B,
Yeah.
I conclude that it's a hasty decision being made,
Okay.
because that's when you haven't figured out substitutes or angles which complement your primary idea.
Right.
So even though, like, if the idea is worth pursuing, then I still go ahead with it. And then what happens is, gradually, let's say a month or 2 months in, you start looking out for angles.
Okay.
You discover basically.
Right.
And I'm very confident, like, a lot of us would also encounter the same.
Agreed.
So
I mean,
it's okay if you
your
don't have a
horizon is
plan B,
widening. Yeah.
because again, plan B is such that it's also a very I think it's a thing which people have different meanings to it.
Yeah.
Like I've heard some quote which says that if you have a plan B, then you obviously don't expect plan A to work.
Correct.
So I think it holds true for different things. It doesn't necessarily apply. Like in
Okay.
a business, you need to have a plan B.
Sure. So
That's
hedging
called
yourself
pivoting.
hedging yourself and
Yeah, correct.
protecting yourself from whatever.
So
Yeah.
you need to understand, like, if this thing is not working out, how do I pivot?
Got it.
By staying relevant, obviously,
Got it.
that way.
But in a lot of situations, you don't get that, right? Or do you? It's always there.
In a lot of situations,
In a lot of businesses, you want to be fixated onto, say, a particular plan. And I
yeah,
got news for
because
you,
not
Corona.
every business has a complementary idea
Yeah.
to the same. So that's fine.
Okay. So how creative can you get at that particular moment?
Possibly, yes.
really-
Correct.
Okay. So again, you're still pretty much outcome dependent here, or independent? How does that work out then?
Outcome dependent, like as in what?
So the plan A, how outcome dependent do you really see your plan A? I mean, in the sense that, pardon me, not outcome dependent, but how emotionally attached are you to that outcome of plan A?
100% committed.
Okay.
Yeah, for anything to work. I mean, if you've set your mind to a certain thing,
So
you have to be
I'll
committed.
stop you there. Perhaps there are two concepts here. One concept is of expectation, and the other concept might just be of trust.
So expectation, again, like, I expect things to work out. Obviously, like when we set out on a new path,
Right.
journey, we like, it's but natural to expect that things will work out in a favor.
Yep.
But then again, being cognizant of the fact that this is not a make it or break it venture, idea, or journey for me.
So I would still classify it as more of trust rather than the expectation of the.
So yeah, I mean, I trust my instincts.
Yeah.
For a particular idea.
Exactly.
But then again, like if things don't work out, then you have to immediately accept.
Yeah, I
Correct.
mean, my simple answer would be yes. I have an expectation for it to work out, and I have
Right.
trust in it to work out,
Right.
which is why I'm grinding my butt off to make it happen.
Exactly. So do you think having expectation is a bad thing?
In relations, yes.
Okay.
In like work, business, otherwise, I feel it's not a bad thing.
No, but
And again, expectation in general is not a bad thing. It's a very good thing to have for anything to be healthy, for a relation to be healthily functioning, for a business to be healthily functioning, I feel. But then how relied are you on that expectation?
so the dependency level.
The level of dependency, the magnitude to which you are dependent. If like you are a great friend of mine,
Mm.
and if things don't work out between us, so do I land in depression?
Okay.
The
So,
answer is no.
okay.
But is there trust? Obviously, yes.
Correct.
Is there a plan B for Virat? For our
Probably.
relation? No, there's no plan B, right? Virat is Virat.
Right.
Correct?
No,
This is
I got
friendship.
it. Yeah.
That way. So
So-
allowing yourself to be less affected by it.
But then the I mean, last podcast we were discussing of one person company and all those things. But still, you're still dealing with people, right? Even at workplace.
So at workplace, so you need to, so be it anything, right? Whether it's a working relation, a relation in general, workplace or friendship,
Yeah.
you need to identify certain checkpoints that my friendship or my working relationship with an employee or my business partner, these are the checkpoints that
Right.
I'll be dependent on.
Right.
So in a workspace, if you're a manager, you have people working for you.
Yeah.
Expectation has to be there.
No, of course, but then I mean, now again, from the first point that I was trying to put, that you can sort of create certain formulas for it. So in today's modern day world, at workplaces we call it as key result areas, or KRAs, or KPIs, or key performance indicators. You can possibly control it to a certain extent.
Not entirely.
Exactly my point. So what do you do about the facts which is not controllable? For instance, now you're dependent on your manager for something. Something just came up at his place, which was beyond your control. But still there is certain set expectations, right?
And there's a delay happening. So
Exactly.
you, like, depending on the nature of the delay,
Correct.
the reason that has caused it to happen, you need to understand that we are all humans.
Yeah.
What has happened there could have happened at my place.
Correct.
So you accept and then move on.
Or you keep a cushion.
Think of some alternative how to tackle that problem, because there are certain timelines to be met.
And you are expected to figure that out as well, by the way.
Oh, true that.
Yeah.
True that. But do you usually keep cushion as well with people?
Cushion, define cushion.
In the sense that that a work is going to be delayed for sure from a particular person. I mean, usually you keep that
Cushion in terms of timeline.
Yeah, usually timeline, or the deliverables, or anything. What is it called? I mean, there's a particular term to it. The plus minus 5% buffer.
So with regards to the timeline, I can keep buffer. I'm open to that. But
Right.
with the quality of it, no. Okay. Compromise on those things cannot be entertained.
Agreed.
And again, this is the same thing which I try to apply in all facets of my life.
Right.
Like, everything is kind of transaction oriented. At
Okay.
workplace, even like we sitting out here, there's
Right,
a certain
right.
transaction going on, right? Like, we are having this podcast, so we don't expect that we are at the best. We bring our A game tonight.
Yeah.
But the cushion here would be like making sense.
It makes sense.
Making sense
Yeah.
in the sense,
Okay.
like, the topic that we're trying to discuss, you try to make sense out of it.
Of course.
Like, your contribution, Varun's contribution to the same topic would differ. My contribution to the same topic would differ.
True.
So that is the cushion, in my opinion.
Makes sense.
Like,
Makes sense.
the variable, right?
Correct. That's the variable bit. Yeah, absolutely. Because
But then it shouldn't
Yeah.
be like you're asking me about a relation, expectation, and I'm doing something else.
yada. Yep.
Correct.
I got you. So perhaps in general in life we enjoy to have control. I mean, this was one thing which I learned of lately from you. I mean, how much you try to control a particular outcome, and what sort of an experience do you actually get out of it? I mean, probably I've gained nothing but remorse in terms of me trying to control outcomes. And
Yeah, it's a dark journey, or there's no light at the end of the tunnel.
True.
When you try to control outcome, instead you should focus on controlling your reaction to the outcome that you are going to witness.
makes sense.
Like if I say some shit to you,
Yeah.
what comes after
Right.
is not controllable. Predictable,
Right.
but not controllable.
You just quoted
I can-
stoicism, if you
Oh
know.
wow.
So the stoic ideology actually says this, right? I mean, there is a time gap between a reaction and a stimulus.
I remember you saying.
Yeah, the other day on the bike we were just
Correct.
talking about it, that there is a time difference between a reaction and a stimulus. So the stimulus being if someone hits you on the hand and you take your hand back as a reaction. So there is usually a time difference into it, and what you think and have a conversation at that particular moment and what takes over the conversation will decide the ultimate consequence of those particular reactions to it. I mean, Varun, if I'm going in the right direction.
Yeah, I think the withdrawal of the hand is the stimulus.
Exactly,
Yeah, that's
exactly,
your
right? So
immediate nervous
correct,
neural
the,
reaction.
The neural reaction.
Neural reaction. And what you talk of or what you do or anything like that,
Correct.
that's a consequential thought of in your brain action. So that's a reaction that you give.
That makes sense. That makes
I mean,
sense.
you were talking about how much you want to control the outcome.
Right.
Yeah. So end of the day, we have no ultimate control over it, right? We don't have ultimate control over it, but you can be a driving factor leading to a set outcome.
So I mean, I would maybe rephrase it in a different word. I can control myself. I can have certain things which are controllables in my vicinity, in the 10 feet that are around me, but probably nothing else.
That should
the
be
way I
the
see it.
primal focus.
Yeah.
It has to be, absolutely.
Exactly.
Right.
And we should have little to no expectation, if possible, of the things that are outside our control.
Right.
And now we're entering a very Zen
true
phase of this conversation, to which I'm looking forward to what AB Chan has to say about that. Yeah. Because he's the Yoda master among us. Yeah. Like give us
Yeah,
your
I'm
wisdom,
very,
man.
I'm very
Yeah.
lenient when expecting. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm yet to deeply think and analyze. Like at times I feel I expect the worst in people, and that's why I'm always prepared to receive the best.
Right.
I don't know how much sense it makes, but then
It does.
when I'm absolutely prepared to witness the worst in people around me, then the element of surprise, shock cease to exist.
Correct.
And that's when you start noticing the small good things, beautiful things, meaningful things happening to you.
Right.
Created by those people around.
Right.
And ultimately it's like I said, I mean, I should rather focus on my reaction to anything that you say or any action that takes from your end,
Right.
rather than me controlling your action. A lot of people would, depending on the position, hierarchy, relation, a lot of people are able to control the outcomes too, and that sets a very bad precedent.
Right.
It sets a series of things in motion, which ultimately, like, life throws a Hail Mary at you then, and that of which you have no answer to.
Wow.
Because it sets a lot of, and it defines you as a person as well.
Right.
Today you might be able to control my action. Today you might be able to control the outcome, and that power it gives you, the thing that you feel that you have control over others.
Right.
That is good in a way, but then again it's like, what happens next? Today you did it with me, then you want to do it with others. Slowly but gradually, a lot of people are lucky enough to meet series of people that they are able to control.
Right.
But then it's like you're limiting yourself. That becomes the biggest limiting element in your life. You don't let people say stuff that are true to your face.
True.
So, and God help those people. Because
Mm.
a lot of times it's very frustrating for me when I have to, when things are not asked,
Right.
or they are, what do you say,
Implied.
when people say and don't ask, like when you tell me to do stuff instead of asking,
Okay.
then that is also not a good thing, I feel.
Maybe tiny bit wavering off, but then I get what you say in terms of approaching it in a different way, in terms of say plain and simple work, that can you do this, please do this. Probably that is the demarcation. Am I getting it right?
um, Possibly. And
Okay.
also a lot of times it's our duty in general, like as a person, that one has to set the expectation,
Right.
in a working environment, in a relation, or any bond that we have in life.
So I you reminded me of my sales days. The first training was first off of cold calling, and after that it was expectation setting.
Correct. It's a
Very
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 common
crucial.
term.
Very crucial. I mean, the amount of sheer energy with the trainer had put in that. I mean, it is so important to set the right expectations with the customer, so that they don't come out with a surprise. Hey, what the hell? And probably just uh, point a gun right at you. I guess I get what you're saying right now. But again, getting back to the Zen bit, I'm not sure if maybe the listeners might have heard of this animation called as Avatar, which was about this kid who can control 4 different elements in the world, and a lot of I mean fantasy stuff on it. But there was this one particular episode which I can never forget, which I want to revisit again, because I mean that hit me real hard. Um, so the setting is very simple. Avatar is trying to gain his ultimate form, and to reach there he sits with a guru. The guru tells him that you need to open your 7 chakras, and which is actually pretty I guess it is there in the Hindu books, that you have
Chakras,
certain
yeah.
chakras which you have to actually open, which will actually lead you to the greatest self that you are. And a lot of it, I mean if I have to depict it in a picture format, your head, your nose, throat, I guess chest, stomach, and the groin area as well. If I'm not wrong, I might be wrong here, but the ultimate uh, part which was said is that you need to let go, right? I mean, so I remember there was letting go of friends, there was letting go of family members, there was letting go of someone you love, there was letting go of your purpose to that extent, to reach the ultimate uh, potential that you typically are. Very difficult to fathom at that particular point of time as a kid, probably. But I mean, this is what still stuck on, right? And maybe one of the days I saw it on reels or something. I would love to revisit that. The minute Varun mentioned of Zen, I mean, that was the first thing which hit me, in terms of how Avatar himself was trying to let go, and it was so difficult that he was just crying and crying through the whole process. It's you can YouTube it. It's a 7 or a 9 minute clip wherein the guru and it apparently happens to be someone in the Kailash, Everest, those areas, wherein Avatar himself is going and trying to learn how to let go of things. So I guess in the Hindu state, it is called sannyas, wherein you are actually letting go of a lot of your what you call as relations, or bandhan in Hindi, and actually setting yourself free from this whole world. So probably expectations, maybe in a relationship, is now what I'm trying to still understand as maybe a 32-year-old. Yeah, that's my age. But again, so you're two Satoshis, guys. Zen
Varun,
for you
you
in
had
terms of
something.
expectations.
I'll go at it.
Okay.
So this is a wow. We're look at where we've landed now. Great.
Right.
So yeah, I'm so glad we're in that woo-woo part of this rabbit hole journey right now.
Yeah.
So you take any older scriptures or cultures or anything,
Right.
from the Mayans to the Chinese call it chi as the energy. They have
Yeah.
a chakra
Yes.
system as well.
Correct.
The head chakra being the highest, they call it the I think it's called the corona, okay, which means the king, the crown.
Crown. Yeah.
Okay, the crown.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they call it that. So Chinese have the chi concept, which is
Yeah.
negative energy, positive
Positive
energy,
energy.
and in Hinduism, which is full of 7 chakras, as you mentioned.
Correct.
And what they tell you is you are not what has happened to you. You
Yeah.
are not your friend circle.
Yeah.
You are not your parents. You are not your job.
Yeah.
God, people think they're a job.
Oh,
you
true.
ask people, hey, so who are you? And they start telling you their
CEO.
profession, and oh, I'm a doctor. I didn't ask you if you're a doctor. Right?
The deeper con.
So the correct, and I've been chasing the correct reply to this
Oh,
question.
true that. Me too.
What are you? And the
Hmm.
reply I've gotten from most well-read people in that aspect is, I'm a spiritual being. I'm me.
The most difficult reply I have received is I'm just nothing. Like, okay.
Which is true. You are nothing and everything.
Exactly.
Exactly.
If you're nothing, that's when you can be everything. I mean, that's how he was coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so you are not all these things. You are
mm.
just you. You are Virat,
Mm.
and you're a spiritual being. I'm Varun, and I'm in this meat suit which I call my body. But then apart from that, we have a non-physical soul.
Right.
That's there. Okay. And people get too woo-woo about the non-physical. And I'm like, just look at this one thing.
Yeah.
There are radio frequencies. You can't see them. You touch your remote, the AC turns on. You can't see it.
Your Wi-Fi.
You have Wi-Fi, you have your phone, you have
Right.
Okay, so the visible light is only 0.0005% of the spectrum that exists.
True.
Okay,
True.
I'm quoting David Icke here, people who want to look it up. So that's how little we know.
We know. True that.
about the world.
Things that we can see.
And we're we can go on, and we're so busy fighting wars and dissing each other and this and that, getting so agitated about things in life, where it's a ride, man. It's just a ride.
True. And the ride becomes even more difficult when you actually have, say, certain said expectations out of certain.
Yeah, it's a ride, and
things.
you
Exactly.
you don't want to be that
Right.
guy on the ride who's just cribbing and bitching about each and everything.
Right.
It's just a ride. Enjoy it, man. Open the
Exactly.
window, put your head out, and
I'll still love to quote you here again, probably for the 10th time. Life is difficult. Go deal with it.
That's there. I mean, when you have no expectations and you set low expectations, you are open to surprise. Like,
Actually, that is exactly.
I mean, like, I ordered a cup of coffee, and they gave me a sugar and a cookie along with it. Oh, great. Love
amazing.
it. Yeah. Things like that.
Exactly,
you start to enjoy little things in life. I mean, we're too much into the Zen space right now. But
right. No, still go on.
Yeah. So that's the thing. I mean, so people get too carried away. So here's the thing. If you live too much in your head is a crazy place. It's just one chemical reaction after the other. And
True.
as a man, I would say, now, okay, we get polarizing also. As a man, you're a creature of actions. You're a creature of stability. You're not a creature of emotions. That's the superpower. I use the word superpower because it really is.
Okay.
But it's again a double-edged sword. Women have, in the feminine energy, they're creatures of emotions.
Right.
It's in the moment of how they feel, of not what the grounding reality should be. If it's more, women act on their feelings, which is great. It's a superpower.
Absolutely, I agree.
So right before that, we were talking about how little we know about the world, and it's a ride.
Right.
And so all these things apply to expectations. You start enjoying little things in life when you have minimized. I would not say you can't let go of expectations completely.
Agreed.
You're going to get up from your chair. You're going to switch off the AC. The remote doesn't work. You had an expectation for it to work.
Exactly.
So you can't completely let go of expectations in life with everything.
But what you do about it and after it is what matters.
So I feel the framework to this could be, when it comes to expectation, obviously there is no one without expectations. So that I can accept. So anything that has not been communicated and mutually agreed upon should never be expected. What do you
Okay.
think?
Maybe you, if you could just
So
expand on it. Yeah.
I expect
Hmm.
Viru for you to be there
Hmm.
when I'm in need.
Yeah.
I want you to be my 3 a.m. call,
Right.
distress call,
Right.
and you agreeing to it.
Yeah.
Now I can officially expect
Okay. Okay.
anything which is not communicated to the other person.
Right.
And if it's not mutually agreed,
Hmm.
so if I tell you, Viru, next month we are going to Goa,
Hmm.
you'll take care of my expenses.
Hmm.
I tell that to you, right?
Hmm.
So you tell me. So now we negotiate that I
Right.
can take care of your airline
Hmm.
expense. I can take care of your hotel expense.
XYZ. Yeah.
So now it's communicated first
Right.
to that person.
Correct.
Negotiated or directly agreed, or negotiated and then agreed.
Correct.
Now I am free to expect from you.
So I guess I'll add a theme to it. I was listening to, I guess, Julian himself. Yeah.
Julian, yeah.
Yeah. I am forgetting his full name,
Hmm.
but he was saying that you tend to have this unspoken contracts with people, right?
Anything that's in the
exactly.
gray doesn't make sense because the things that you do not communicate and take acceptance on,
right,
are the things that you will severely beat yourself up for.
True.
Severely. That is the thing that will fuck you the most.
Absolutely.
When I've never communicated, expressed my intent that you should be there when I need you, right? During my vulnerable times, and when Viru doesn't show up, now it's again me talking to myself.
Right.
And it's again me, not directly talking to Viru, but bitching to others.
Correct. The
He's
resentful,
not a friend.
the resentment and
Correct.
Yeah.
So that also, again, if you feel that way, that is something which can be controlled.
Agreed. Yep.
So the reverse angle to this would be communicating,
Exactly.
negotiating,
Right.
and or accepting
Right
away. And then now I can hold you accountable, right?
Right.
Because you didn't fulfill that expectation which we actually agreed on.
So even I will maybe take it a notch further, communicating so much so that the other person understands and acknowledges as well.
So mutually agreed.
No, a lot of times when you've actually communicated what you expect, still people try and act otherwise. Probably out of a place of I don't understand. Probably out of a place of I thought this. Probably
This
you
also
get it, right?
a lot of time happens. So I keep telling my people,
yeah.
like what you think and what it actually is.
Right.
There's a lot of difference.
Oh, absolutely. Those are actually poles
I
apart.
keep coming across people who are like, oh, I thought that I had to do
Exactly. That's where I was hitting. Yep.
Yeah, correct.
So again, the whole premise of probably the solution which you were saying is to beating that unspoken contract. You need to communicate effectively.
Yes.
You need to make sure that the point is reached. At times, even reinforced that maybe the person has forgotten. Not in the 3 a.m. distress call states, because that's more of an emotional attachment probably that the person has.
Just one of the things, basically.
So
not
a lot
major
of times you
emphasis.
say that, Mera dost, you're my friend. I'm going to be there with you for thick and thin, and whatever you see, I'm going to be there. And then how you act upon it as a person who's actually said it.
Because
Right?
a lot of times I've found myself doing things for people.
Yeah.
And I've even noticed people doing things for me, not with happiness, but out of pressure of performance.
Correct.
That, oh, fuck, I have to go because he called me.
Right.
And in that heat of the moment, I said yes.
Right.
Now, how would I look if I didn't do it?
Correct.
After agreeing to
People holding their own word accountable, basically.
Correct. So that is also not a good thing. So I've stopped doing it just for the sake of it.
Right.
Because everything has to if you don't respect your actions, how do you expect people to?
Agreed. So, I mean, again, a lot of things go inwards. I mean, the way I see it.
Yes.
With every individual, maybe they project themselves out there. They are probably operating out of. So, I mean, how does expectation typically arise? Is what I'm trying to get to. let me sort of take my own example. My expectations would typically come from a few places. One ego was one place where the expectations would come out of.
Come again, sorry.
So ego is one place
Before
where
that, your expectation
would come from, right? I mean,
Okay.
where does it arise from?
for expectation from people or from yourself?
From anything in itself. Probably the only safe place to have an expectation is yourself, is how I feel.
True.
But then it's open for challenge. But the way I see it, I think my expectations for others, or my expectations for situations, or my expectations for probably something which is actually even derived as a result, is still typically going to operate out of certain places, right? Certain life experiences, certain wisdom which I think I have. So typically, like I was stating ego. I guess it was yesterday I was having a conversation with my colleague, where it just came out, right? I was just speaking to him saying that, why do I have to do this, right? I mean, it's been 10 years I've been into the system, in terms of being in the corporate. I was expecting someone else to do it. Why do I have to do it? So again, then I actually caught myself saying that, why are you bringing in ego here? I mean, that was kind of the conversation which I had to bring in, and I said, nothing doing. I'm gonna put in the work. I got to do it because I got to do it. As simple as that. There's no expectations bit that, why does he have to do it, or why does she have to do it as such. But then again, I was operating out
and
of
for
ego.
people who feel like this is a regular, a normal day of an employee,
Right.
wait till you start doing business.
Oh,
You
because-
would be like, there's no place for ego.
So funny enough, you said that you are actually trying to expect out of a mass, right? You're trying to sell to the world, and you're expecting out of the whole world, wherein trends are changing, things are being a fad, technology is changing by the second. Probably it changed yesterday. That's the speed at which the world is changing. And how are you adapting to it and keeping an expectation there? I guess you're up for remorse. I am totally with you on that. But the second place which I used to, or of lately also, typically would operate from is fear. Right? Fear of probably losing something, losing someone, fear of even succeeding, for that matter, that, I might just get cocky if I get to a particular place. I'm happy the way I am. So again, if I'm operating out of this, I need to remember that there are going to be certain consequences which are going to come with it, and probably not take it as a burden, but take it as an opportunity cost as well. 'Cause I'm definitely going to lose out on people. Definitely going to lose out on opportunities. I'm definitely going to lose out on that bang for the buck which I wanted. But again, for me, that's how I have had a relationship with expectations. And so I remember my uncle had this Charisma bike, right? So
Yeah.
beautiful bike. AB, we've had our own.
Spent a long time.
Was it the yellow one?
No, it was the black one. So
Oh man, I've missed this one. Yeah.
yeah. So seeing that bike as a child, right? Like I expect, to have the same bike. I'll ask my father to get me that bike and the same bike and stuff like that. A lot of expectations and a lot of attachment to it, that I wanted. Then I shifted to Pune, and Pune is a place where you actually need a bike.
Yeah.
The least when I was expecting, my uncle came to me and said, "You know what? I'm not using it. Why don't you take it?"
Wow.
The amount of sheer bliss that I was at. I mean, I've had the best of my times. Even we've had an accident, for heaven's sake. Without spectacles for a year,
Correct,
I guess.
correct.
So, I mean, that was a funny bit, but again, it's funny how it operates, right? I mean, beautiful things happen to you when you least expect them to happen. Probably that's where you ideally want to be, wherein like even AB or even Varun
So
was saying, yeah.
a good analogy to this would be like, you want to go to Bandra, you're driving.
Right.
Your eyes are on the road.
Right.
Not imagining Bandra.
Exactly. You'll crash. True.
Yeah, absolutely.
True.
So by a lot of people would relate and accept and share their own stories,
Right.
of how money came in, of how love came in their lives.
Right.
Good things entered their lives when they were least expecting it, not
Correct.
even looking at it.
Correct.
Yeah, Varun.
I'm just agreeing. So I'm just like, indicating it with my hands. I'm having a good time, man. Come on. Gotta have a good time. I didn't
Oh,
expect
hell
this.
yeah.
I'm enjoying it. Yeah.
Oh, superb,
for it, yeah.
superb.
No, but I guess it's beautiful, right? You're actually enjoying the journey. You're actually trusting the process. You're actually committed to the journey.
Being
Life's
vigilant.
unfolding in front of you. That's what's happening.
True that.
And to the people who think they are in a way, I mean, a lot of people will agree with what we say right now, that life unfolds in a way when you don't expect things, they happen. And
Exactly.
there might be some people sitting in an angst or resentment that, it's not been the case with me. Okay, it's easy for you to say.
Time
The thing
is variable.
Yeah, there are
True.
seasons of happening in your life,
Right.
and there are seasons of waiting in your life.
Agreed, but
Yeah.
I'll still maybe add another dimension to it. In that waiting period, what exactly are you doing? Are you sitting, crying, moping, nothing is going to happen like that? Or you're putting in the work? You're sort of, looking within what is happening inside of me. Probably I've gained, say, certain pounds. I want to go to the gym, hit the gym, and probably just release that weight. I wouldn't say lose. You can't lose shit. I mean, you try to find shit if you lose it. So
Yeah.
I'd like to use release as a word, but that apart. So you're actually, if you're having a problem with your work, you're putting in the work. If you're having a problem with something, you're actually dealing with it. Rather than just sitting and saying that I am outcome independent, I don't expect shit. World, let things happen to me. I don't think that's how it works. You actually need to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and say that, you know what, I'm going to walk it off. I'm going to do something about it. I'll take my time. For sure, time is absolutely a variable, probably a luxury for a few. But again, that's what you can put in, right? AB, the other day you were saying that what you can put in is the time. It's only the time. And I mean, I don't think there's anything better apart from, just this, that, you need to actually get up in the morning, put in the work, sort of learn, see content, listen to podcasts, listen to music if that helps you. Sort of blow off some steam at the gym, blow off some steam at boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, jiu-jitsu, judo, martial arts, anything for that matter, or being creative, going out there dancing, going and painting a picture, or probably just traveling. You need to sort of get up and do something, because I got news for you. If you're doing nothing, that's also something that you're doing. You're actually losing out on opportunities. So you need to be actually aware of what's happening. I mean, that's the central theme, right?
So
Being aware
do not
and-
stop expecting from life.
That's the thing. Like the stoicism answer would be,
Right.
What do you do after enlightenment? Sorry.
Yeah.
What do you do before enlightenment? You
Right.
chop wood, carry water. What do you do after enlightenment? You chop wood, carry water.
Wow. But again, I want to really come back to the point of expecting from yourself. Any experiences would you guys want to share somewhere here?
Okay, I'll go.
Sure.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
I've been one of those people who've been super hard on themselves all my life. I don't know.
Right.
My wiring has been like that.
Right.
Till I came to a point where I realized, hey, I mean, it's okay. You need to love yourself a little bit. And I'm not talking in a way that this whole new age modern way of, you're slacking, you're lazy in bed lying all day, but you love yourself. No, I'm not talking that. I'm talking like, don't be so hard on yourself. I've had supreme expectations of me. I should do this, I should do this. And quite a lot unrealistic, actually. That six-pack was supposed to show up like 6 years back, man. Still don't have it going on. But anyway.
Yeah.
So things like that. And so one thing that I've recently started doing is in this whole expectation, I need to get this done and this and that.
Right.
I've started bullet journaling. So for viewers who are listening, look up bullet journaling. Okay, there's a book by Ryder Cooder. So it's so bad I'm butchering his name. Just look up the bullet journal book. Okay, it's like $500 on Amazon, but the information is solid. A lot of stoicism in there, a lot of how do you get more done and this and that. So bullet journaling is a very good tool that I've been on, and that's the whole thing. It kind of takes out the expectation and it lays out a solid plan in front of you.
Right.
6 months broken down into 3 months, broken down into this month, your monthly log in the bullet journal. and then broken down into what you need to get done
Weeks and
weeks
days
and today and
yeah.
tomorrow and day after.
Right.
Okay, and all this is done in an analog system. You just carry a notebook with you. Very simple system to write it down and get it done. And for people who are listening to it, just I'm telling you, it could be, if you are one of those people who can actually write down and do what you've decided to do, man, you can conquer the freaking world with this thing.
Wow.
With this system. It is really powerful.
Okay.
I can't stress enough on it. So bullet journaling is one of the things. Shit, I just forgot, what was your question again?
When I was wondering actually.
No, it was about expectations with yourself.
Yeah, so positive expectations with yourself.
Right.
You are expected to go out in the world and perform highly. That's something that I have going on with me. Now, I put it out in severe blunt words, how I put it out right now, how
Right.
I phrased it. Okay, that I need to do this, and this is how it is.
Yeah.
This may not be everyone's thing.
Okay.
I just roll that way. Okay.
Sure.
That this is expected of me, excellence is expected of me, or at least
Right.
strive hard, man.
Right.
Okay. Get as close as you can to doing your best for that given day. And then the best expectation with everything in the universe is tomorrow the sun will rise again and
Yeah.
you do it again.
True.
That's it. That's a little
A
bit from my end.
And
I'll
a
let
lot of
AB
it
Chan, yeah.
stems from belief also.
Agreed.
How do you define, is my expectation from myself legit, valid, or relevant?
Right.
Is my belief towards it. So I've
Okay.
set insane expectations
Hmm.
for myself basically.
Exactly.
So I keep, like, a lot of times when I'm asked, like, why are you hustling so much?
Yeah.
So my true answer is that I aspire a lot more than you can possibly imagine or
Right.
fathom. So
Right.
how can I maintain a same lifestyle like you people
Right.
if I want to if I want to achieve a lot more,
Correct.
right? So, and again, believing, because see, if you do not set insane goals for yourself, if you do not set six-pack ab, I don't know who's expecting it from you.
Right.
People are not going to do it for you.
Nobody cares.
And
Uh-huh.
even if they do, there are few good people around you, right?
Right.
Who expect the best for you.
Right. They're your cheerleaders.
But then again,
well-wishers,
they can be
Hmm.
catalyst towards the belief.
Right.
But there should be no dependency whatsoever.
Because I guess out of 100 people, maybe 2 of them would be your cheerleaders. Rest of them will
Correct.
be
But
telling
then
you
again,
things.
their expectation for me
Hmm.
is purely based on how capable they think I am,
And how capable they think they are.
correct, and how much can they imagine for me.
Exactly.
My
Exactly.
expectations are my imaginations.
True.
Right?
True.
What I think, what I am able to see, I can truly expect.
Right.
And it's okay. You don't have to, like, there are a lot of ways to hold yourself accountable, push yourself to the max.
Right.
I don't abuse myself. I don't beat myself up.
Right.
I do torture myself. Torture is not the right way, but then
Give yourself a hard time.
a hard time,
Yeah.
sleep deprivation, like fasting at times,
Hmm.
and getting up early, sleeping late.
Hmm.
Again, sleep deprivation, basically.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of things to punish yourself
Right.
for the inefficiencies that you've been petting,
Right.
that you've been, like, showing love to as
Yeah.
your own child.
Yep.
So try to minimalize those things. And expectation with oneself is a very good thing, I feel. Like, I would never stop expecting
Hmm.
things from myself.
Yeah.
All the good things
Right.
from myself. For the bad things, I rely on the people around me. So
Right.
and it's always right. I mean, if ever you fail to derive commitment, when you feel you're having crisis of
Hmm.
commitment, it's like every time we meet, Varun, you say some nasty things that make my head go off, like, it ticks me off.
Hmm.
But then, do I enjoy being irritated, annoyed? No.
Hmm.
But in that moment, I feel replying in a very befitting manner to
Right.
you, right? Now, how do I stop myself from doing that? It's like, I first see your commitment.
Right.
bloody committed you are, that every time we meet, you will bloody find 1 or 2 things or 10 things about me that you would roast me, right? In a way.
Yeah.
So I now need to draw inspiration from Varun, how committed he is to his act,
His purpose.
to his purpose. Now I will be committed to my purpose. If I like giving you befitting replies,
That's
then
my
I'll
purpose
stay. Yeah,
then.
that's my purpose at that moment. But if I don't enjoy, I never enjoy in verbal spat, because I'm not that quick-witted. I cannot shut you up. Shut you up
Let it be.
at
Let
that
it be.
instant.
I
I'm
won't
pretty lazy.
let you take that one. Hell yeah,
There are times where I'm not that proactive,
Okay.
So I find that commitment, like I can keep my mouth shut. I can be less distracted
Right.
from what he's saying. So this is how I source power. You can source any shit you want. So it's basically seeing is believing, right?
Right.
I want to believe I can do it. So I'll make n number of reasons. If I don't want to do it, I'll still make n number of reasons not to do it, right?
Correct. So I it reminded me of that one statement you quoted from Harvey Specter. Right? I'll make it my life's mission to sort of give you that befitting reply. What was it?
So basically, there was this movie 18.
Right.
So there's this who's that guy? Patrick?
So
No,
Swayze.
no. So there's this Bradley Cooper.
Bradley
Cooper
Cooper,
and
Bradley
Liam
Cooper.
Neeson is in the movie.
Liam
So
Neeson.
Liam Neeson. So Bradley Cooper's girlfriend, she's a cop from FBI or Interpol, and she's interrogating someone, and the guy is not willing to give up few names, and she's like, "How about I dedicate my immediate career in destroying yours?" So that's the line.
So I guess even Harvey Specter was saying something I had seen of lately that right now I don't have you on my focus, but I will make it my life's mission to get back at you if you sort of try to cross me, something of that sort of.
Correct. So this is what happens, right?
Correct.
How committed a person is, like, and I heard Zakir Khan had meant I don't consider him a comic. I consider him I like him for his deep conversations that he tries to make a joke on. Like he said that every time that we feel embarrassed, we go home, when we close eyes, we try to win that situation with good befitting replies.
Very true.
So the commitment, I mean, what do you spend time on, right? I cannot spend my time like just to get back to you tomorrow.
Correct.
Because roasting comes to you naturally.
Right.
Assume.
Right.
And I have to prepare.
Exactly.
The next day, what if you say something out of the syllabus? Now, my entire life, bloody every night, I'm preparing for tomorrow. And just imagine such people being your best friends.
Oh, damn.
or friends even, like daily who you meet. So
I get it. But then expectations from
But
yourself.
expect crazy from yourself, and and also you need to understand, it's a very complicated thing, like when to let go of, when to cut yourself some slack.
Right.
So that only comes when you define some parameters for yourself. I can cut myself some slack today only with a belief, confidence that I'll try to make it up for tomorrow.
Right.
If it doesn't happen tomorrow, then I'm pissed at myself. I cannot say I cannot restore the same belief tomorrow, saying that I'll do it day after tomorrow. That's how you start fooling yourself as well. So it's a very thin ice that you're walking on when you set things for yourself. When when you govern yourself on you yourself govern yourself. When you yourself are the true authority.
No, maybe I'll maybe add something to this. So you definitely should aim for the stars. Maybe you'll reach the sky. That's something which is beautiful and amazing.
Those are the results, but don't even think of the stars.
No. So,
or the sky.
I mean, I'm just saying that expect the crazy, right? Expect whatever you can do. But maybe the actionable is what bullet journaling that Varun was mentioning of. So Jordan Peterson, I guess in his book itself, he mentions that it's good to have very high expectations, but it's also good to aim low as well. So the aim low was sort of directed towards the smaller goals which you want to receive. So for instance, you want to sort of be able to bench press 100 kgs. But today you haven't bench pressed even a kg. you're not able to do that, right? You can't just start lifting 100 kgs.
Giving yourself small treats. Like I remember a few years back, you had told me like how military people, they get up, they make their own bed.
Correct.
Doing so gives you a sense of confidence and achievement
yes,
as well.
Yes.
So you have to feed yourself
Those
few
smaller
treats here and there.
Correct. So that's how you program your head, right? So this happened with my gym trainer. Not as a gym trainer. I mean, he's a friend and he helps me with the nutrition and the gym bit. He said that I get you want to lose weight, right, or release weight, but then again you can't expect to release 32 years of weight within a single day.
Absolutely.
It has to be a gradual process. It has to be one step, one day at a time, having to perfection to a tune of 80-90% that you're committed to your process. So the simpler thing is, why don't you start enjoying it and living it? You get up every day, you brush your teeth, right? That's the similar way sort of you want to be at in terms of being committed to your process, being committed that you'll wake up every day, go to the gym, put in a good day's workout. There'll be days where you just don't want to go. Still, sort of having that pep talk with yourself. That's where you can be easy perhaps with yourself, saying that, hey, no worries, man. It's just about going to the gym, yaar. Come on. You can do that thing at least, yaar. Come on.
And so we've focused so much on deducing people's character, nature.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we first need to set some parameters to understand what type of a person we are ourselves.
Right.
If you're not a committed person, then you are screwed.
True.
Because if you don't get hurt when you fail commitment, when you fail to commit as well, when you fail to fulfill those commitments, then you are actually screwed. It won't.
Very true.
It would be very much visible to everyone.
Very true.
And I'm not saying it would be very much visible to everyone so that you give a fuck. You understand that you yourself are screwed.
Correct.
Right? So
if you
those
see
are
yourself
alarming
as
promotions.
an uncommitted person,
Absolutely.
I've
never, I don't care like if someone, because what happens when you're working, when you meet people, you have clients, it's just like not every person who meets me has the same experience with me.
Right.
The same happens in business. Not every client I meet, I serve has the same experience.
Exactly.
Right? And it's true, but unfortunate, and it happens.
Right.
It's very difficult to retain your experience with the people you meet, the clients you cater to. But then at the end of the day, even if someone is not having a good experience with me in it, I cannot beat myself up for that.
Right.
So my belief or my self-satisfaction is again not outcome oriented. It is effort oriented and being transparent.
Right.
Like what led to that bad experience. Sometimes clients are shitty. Sometimes people you meet are shitty.
Situations are shitty.
Correct. So you cannot make
basically.
friends out of everyone.
True.
So again, being capable of analyzing your own actions and coming to a conclusion is another important thing. And it's very difficult again, because you will again beat yourself up for something that you are not responsible for in the first place.
Agreed.
So it's a very thin ice, I mean,
I know.
one should
it's a balance.
These things, like, setting expectations and analyzing performance, like your behavior towards people.
Right.
This is so important.
Very true.
I don't know which branch does it fall under, which science is it? Behavioral science, psychology, but it's so important,
Very true.
Because if you are not capable, or if you're not, I won't say enlightened, or if you're not smart enough to understand what you should beat yourself up for,
right?
कुत्ता बना दोगे यार तुम खुद का.
No, I get what you're saying, but maybe let's take another dimension here. Expectation versus trust. What do you think? So let me sort of try and create something here. So I believe that so this is where I'm coming from. If I trust something or someone, I think I'm okay to let go of the outcome bit also, because I know something is going to happen for sure. So probably it's more like an unsaid contract as such again here. But then I'm actually willing to let go and say that, I trust you. I know. So probably I derive trust in myself through your eyes also. To that extent, I'm going to. But trying to sort of understand that how expectations typically work in my head and how trust works in my head. If I trust you, AB, I would go blind also in terms of trusting you, right? So that's where I typically come from. But if I'm expecting something out of you, I don't want to sit and start resenting you for the things that didn't happen. So that's the typical conversation which I usually tend to have. Again, trust building takes a while. I mean, it's time, it's experiences you've had together, it's situations where, like you said, you wanted him to be, and was he there? Was he not there? Do you understand why he is not there, or why he or she is there? So certain those conversations when you have with yourself, and you sort of start creating a level of trust as well. At times, I've trusted people at times from the get also, and that's actually helped me. And at times it hasn't. But expectations in general for me has caused me to sort of resent situations and people also.
So I think your level of trust based on the things you expect out of me shouldn't exist.
Okay.
Am I making sense?
Maybe you
Like
want to
what
take
you
another
expect out
stab
of
at it.
me, if that forms the basis of our trust,
Okay.
then it's not right.
Absolutely.
Because-
I guess that's actually a problem.
Because these are two different things. Now, yesterday I had to fire a guy. Okay.
Yeah.
I had to fire that person because, again, expectation, which was clearly communicated and agreed upon.
Right.
Negotiated and agreed upon. So
Right.
I communicated, he negotiated, and we both agreed.
Right.
And time and again, the inefficiencies were highlighted. But then again, I had to come to a conclusion that I cannot work with that person anymore. So I
Got
had to
it.
fire that person.
Got it.
Now it's like the relation is personal. So
Right.
I mean, how do I frame? So I feel like I'm caught between expectations, and I don't know if that person trusts me again. But do I care?
Okay.
No, it's like, just understand, like, I hired you. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
You are not performing, and I had to fire you.
Right.
Now I fear, like, I'm not sure, like, how you would form the basis of our friendship ahead.
Got it.
Because the expectation was said and clearly not met.
Right.
But you have your own theory
Right.
to back up. So I think I said before that people have their reason and they focus more on the reason when the output is not there, than expecting the other person to understand
And be okay with it.
correct. And when you're not okay with it, and again, that person expecting and trusting that I would understand.
That's still expectation. I won't still say trust. But-
That person trusted that I would understand the situation.
Okay.
But until when?
But was that communicated to you that I trust you, that you'll understand?
No,
Exactly.
again, here trust was not a major disappointment. But now this is what I assume, right?
Yeah.
Because it's become a little uncomfortable, and I don't feel there's any point talking about it again. It's just that for me things are the same.
Right. No, I
the
get you.
relation still exists. It's just that
So it was a
one
work
aspect is
relation at a
correct.
point, and a friendship
It
at
was
a
a
different point.
friendship first and then a work relation.
Got it. I mean, I hear you. I hear you. So probably overlapping that in terms of an expectation is going to be a real pain in the wrong places.
Correct. I mean, at times I feel like, is it good to mix, like, friendship and business? But I don't doubt it. It's always good. Let us all prosper.
I mean, that's where typically a loyalty would spring out of, in terms of being
As in?
loyal to each other as well, right?
Nah, man. Loyalty comes secondary. It's like, if I show you a certain aspect of a business and you try to dump me, ditch me, and you start off on your own, taking my resources.
Right.
I think when you said loyalty, this is what I thought.
Okay.
Like, so that loyalty, it's a given, and again, I don't expect that as well. I'm okay, because a
Right.
man has to sail his boat,
Right. He has mouth
do
to feed,
everything exactly.
bills
Every
to pay.
person, for any aggressive decision that anyone makes, they have their own reason,
Right.
and let it exist. I am willing to live with that.
Right.
What is mine will be mine, you know?
Right.
But then it's like you fulfilling your end of the bargain.
Right.
That's more important. So again, said expectations, agreed upon expectations.
Acknowledged as well.
Yes.
So maybe certain expectations bit which maybe are due to due for conversations is maybe expectations in relationships. We were kind of sort of touching it on the surface of it. We maybe take a slightly deeper dive in terms of expectations from humans itself. Now, with relationships, I would say expectations from your parents, your immediate spouse, your children, your girlfriend, your teacher, your employee, employer, your customers, or anyone for that matter, right? So maybe you want we can actually rather let's do this. Let's keep it to a personal and not a professional relationship. Maybe we've dwelled quite a bit on the professional part. Let's go on the personal relationship side. Maybe sort of try and create something here in terms of what sort of an expectations have you as an individual had, and what sort of a result have you actually derived out of it. That could be something which we could talk about. Let me start off with there. So maybe as a child, my parents had certain set expectations that this kid would do this for me, that for me. Am I living up to the expectations which was even communicated to me? I guess not. Probably the day I knew that I can earn a particular amount of money, and I can be self-sustaining to a while, probably I wanted to have certain things which I in deep wanted to have, and I'm trying to work towards those things rather than sort of trying to have any expectations which my parents or maybe people who actually have mentored me in terms of maybe my uncle, maybe my teachers, to be standing up to. In terms of relationships, romantic relationships, um, I I've had a phase wherein I've been very clear in my dating approach as well, in terms of what I am expecting or what I am looking for in plain and simple words, which was very clearly communicated. Probably not probably, but definitely without any biases or anything. But I was actually willing to walk away if that particular expectation was or that particular purpose was not being met at that particular date as such, or a meeting as such, or maybe even a conversation for that matter, right? uh, in surprising ways, I've come across maybe someone really great when I was expecting the least. So that
Present time.
yeah, right, but
Obviously present time, right?
of course,
Yeah.
but then again, it hits you, right? I mean, you have to go through a series of people that you've met, and probably have that expectation battle with them, and whatever's and whatever nots, and only to reach to a point that you come across this amazing person, and you really want to sort of be there, and that's where a small little expectation kicks in, and then you start operating out of fear. And when you start operating out of fear, you're actually maybe not operating out of a perspective of happiness, maybe not operating out of a perspective of having fun together, of course, and maybe you're just operating out of a fear of losing that person. So that does tell you how much you value that person, but then at a certain extent, you are actually even imposing your own fears onto the other person as well, and that can get overwhelming. So having someone with a very strong center is certainly going to help you, because of course, I mean, there are going to be expectations which are going to come in, like you said, right? As a human, that is going to happen. You might not be able to keep yourself in check 100% of the times, but in those 10% or 20% of the times where you actually tend to really operate out of fear and expect, to avoid resentment, I guess my two satoshis would be try to not operate out of an expectation, but try to have a very simple perspective that, I'm going to have fun. This is going to be great. Oh, am I expecting something out of it? Perhaps not. The whole system which I typically maybe learned off lately is every relationship that you go through, romantic or non-romantic, is going to teach you something. So maybe if you operate out of that, this is going to be something very, very beautiful. But I mean, the countless number of times when I've had an expectation, like, oh, I expect this girl to, sort of go with me, and I expect this girl to be my girlfriend or something of that sort. I've got nothing but absolute crickets. I mean, she'll definitely sort of walk away, right? Because you're operating absolutely out of fear, and you can't just, sort of overwhelm someone with it. But guys, any experiences for you, maybe on the romantic front, non-romantic front, in terms of, coming across some different set of people? How has that been? Anyone want to sort of take a stab at it?
The look that AV Chan just gave me is
I
like,
swear.
man, you have to go and take this jump right now.
Go for it. Go for it.
Okay, man. Okay, all right. This is not going to be a can of worms. Let's do this.
Okay.
So here's the thing: the recipe for disaster is having too many expectations and building that person in your head.
Okay.
Without even much happening in reality.
Right.
You build this fantasy version that, oh, this girl's going to be amazing and we're going to be so great together. Oh my God, we're going to do this and do that. And
right.
And it's not really happening in reality. It's not reciprocated in reality. So the first preventive medicine, what I have learned from all these years, is reciprocate the investment that they show. Okay. So if you're invested too early, too soon, too heavily, or even in a course of time, and your investment tops theirs, it's you now you're going to have expectations because you've invested so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're saying don't be the initiator.
No, I'm saying you initiate in little bits, and you you wait and you watch, and you wait.
What if the other person is of the same mindset? They're also waiting and watching, and there's no one
they're
taking
waiting
the
and
action.
watching. But then what did I say first? The first step is you initiate in crumbs. You initiate in little bits.
Okay.
You don't plan a full-fledged bloody vacation or something, and I mean, it's just an example. But so reciprocate the investment that they show.
Right.
Okay. You don't need to be up at 3:30 a.m. in the morning, which I have done, trying to call them and tell them, oh baby, I miss you and I love you so much. Oh, by the way, I think this romantic song would be really nice, so listen to it. I'm going to play it for you right now. It's too much, right? I mean, I've been that sort of a chimpanzee who's done shit like that also.
Yeah, I'll definitely say that I've been that too.
Yeah, I mean, see, I'm telling you, we've been the upside and the downside.
Right.
We have the baseball hat and the cap, and the shirt to prove it, like, hey, we belong to that club. Anyway, so reciprocating the investment, and that's the point where you invest so much, you start having expectations that why is it not being returned when I'm putting in so much?
Exactly. Now that's where the problem
comes. So now this is what your 99% of the people do.
Right.
Let's invest more.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So here is where you come to something called as sunk cost fallacy. Okay. So because you have invested so much into this stock, into getting this thing going, getting a business going, getting a girl, anything like that, sunk cost. Now it's gone down to pretty much zero. But you're going to still keep chasing the market, and you still, oh no, wait till I put a little bit more.
Yeah.
And you throw in good money after bad money into it.
Right.
And you're like, oh man, it's still not happening. Okay, I managed a little bit more, and so let me put this also.
Right.
So being committed to the pot, as we say.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Right.
And the casino is going to open in a while. Anyway, so this is sunk cost fallacy because you've done so much. I had this other friend of mine named Leo. Leo, if you're listening to this, a big aloha, hello, and in Himachali language, how do you say hello? I have no idea.
No idea.
No,
Because
no
he's
idea.
sitting in Malari right now. He's a
Oh, nice.
great hike instructor over there. So
Great.
Leo, aloha. So Leo was telling me a story where he went to this mountaintop to click a picture of this other mountaintop, and he had to wait all night when the lighting was right, when the
Yeah.
sunshine was just falling right in the right amounts, the
Hmm.
mountain was well lit. And he took it to multiple newspapers and magazine vendors and whatnot.
Hmm.
And he tried showing them. They would always pick that photo out and say, we don't really feel it.
Okay.
We're not going to select this.
Yeah.
And he tried this for the 5th, 6th time with this one said magazine.
Right.
Where the editor of the magazine went like, you've shown me this picture like 5 times. Why are you still behind my ass to do this?
Hmm.
Then he tells him the story that, I had to hike up this whole mountain, get to the top, wait all night in the cold and this and that. And, and the sunshine was just right. So I clicked it, everything. But the picture, may not be fitting the criteria as
Right.
what they want.
Right.
Okay. But since he put all this energy, effort, everything into it,
Yeah.
he's like, how can I let this go? Similarly, same thing applies to, oh man, I put in 18 months or 2 years into this relationship.
Yeah.
But tenuity becomes the imposition.
How can I
Right.
let it? And you have to break up with that person, that job, that situation, that work. It could be anything. You have to realize when it's time to call it quits. And what is suffering? I read this quote today. Okay. What is suffering? Suffering is resisting the ability to change when life wants you to change. Okay. This is a very good spin
Right.
on what suffering is. I mean, life wants you to change, and you don't want to change.
So, I mean, the
You're
piece of-
resisting this
Piece of
whole,
glass, broken glass that you're holding, it's hurting you. You want to
Exactly.
just leave it. You cannot.
Yeah.
You're committed to it.
So this is the thing. So okay.
But
Now,
maybe
how do I bring
I'll
it back to
We-
expectations?
we,
Yeah.
we stick to familiarity. If you're holding that piece of glass for long enough, you've become familiar to that feeling, and you found comfort in it in a way.
Maybe I'll have a
That
difference of
letting it
opinion
go
to
would be
certain
a new,
extent.
would be experiencing
But
something new.
I agree with what AB Chan is saying.
Letting
No.
that glass go would be experiencing something new that you are not sure that you would feel comfortable.
I agree, but I'll quote you here only, AB. When do you think will be the right time to let it go? Right? I mean, like you are committed to sort of asking someone out. The other day on the podcast we were talking about this. That I mean, you're committed to sort of asking that person out, and then you said that I tried, it didn't happen. Now I
Just
must just
doing
let
it
go.
just for the sake of it.
Exactly. So if you've had that that particular place that you're coming from, that what we need to actually work things together. If the other person, again, I'll bring Varun's topic here. If the other person is not reciprocating, no matter how much, I mean, there has to be a definite point that there is not going to be reciprocity. I
Yeah.
feel
Try clapping your hand with just one hand, and you'll know
exactly.
what
I
we're
mean,
talking about. Yeah.
a relationship is two people's work. The way I see it. But then again, you still should give it the he's trying to clap his hand with his one hand, but that's see, AB can do it. And that's a new
I have to
achievement.
put a lot of audio processing to make it work. Okay, to make it loud. Yeah.
No, but we get it. But I guess if you've actually reached a point wherein there is no other option but to part ways, I mean, that's one very difficult conversation to have, right? I mean, and you're so committed to not having that difficult conversation that you tend to sort of go through it.
Yeah, if it's
I mean, the
not
way I'm-
reciprocated, the sooner it ends, the better for both parties, right?
Exactly.
Don't you
So
think?
you can't be just that one person in love. You have to be two people in love.
Yeah.
Gonna be there standing no matter what sort of
Otherwise, it's
thick and thins
it's unrequited love, which is suffering, which is again, now we're back to that quote.
exactly.
Life wants you to change, and
Exactly.
you're resisting.
Exactly. So you need to certainly have a fresh perspective of approaching that love, perhaps, or maybe try things which you haven't tried before. But still, if you're failing, then I guess the only logical step is to leave that piece of glass and let it not hurt you as much. I know it's difficult.
It's
It-
one of
it
the
is.
toughest thing you'll ever
Oh,
do.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, that's why people still stay in certain toxic relationships as well, right? I mean, you tend to create a sense of belonging to that individual person.
It's
it's
if you go
difficult.
deeper, it's your
again familiarity.
yeah, it's your
Exactly.
and,
Exactly.
and to go deeper
familiarity.
with familiarity is your dopamine and your all these hormone receptors.
Right.
Their reception mannerism has been damaged. They have been rewired in such a way
Right.
that you feel comfort in that now.
You
Right.
found comfort because you were
Yeah.
committed to the pod, right?
True.
I mean, a lot of people that I've seen, like after being dumped or dumping, like no, usually happens when someone is dumped. So that person, instead of moving forward, they choose to go backwards,
Right.
try
Right. Right.
reinvigorating their relation with the ex again,
Yeah.
because you are familiar with that person, right?
Mm.
And again, you cannot do anything but just find comfort in that. So
Mm.
there are a lot of things why someone does
Yeah.
that. So I feel you have to be very endearing. You
Right.
have to have a perspective. So it defines your perspective towards life. If you're an explorer,
Mm.
if you're a curious person, if you do not hesitate experiencing something new, then you would be that person falling back again,
Good one.
Right.
seeking approval from the same set of people
True.
who rejected you in the first place.
Mm.
No, but I guess there's one thing which you need to know, that who are you in that particular relationship. I mean, you need to know your stand, because if that person is not coming from a place of love, there is only malice, and there's only some things which she or he is looking for the next better thing. So probably staying in the same thing is only going to hurt you. But the person says that, you know what, I think we can work together, we can grow together. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That is definitely a place you would ideally want to be. And I guess you will find that person. Maybe it's not right now. Maybe it's after 10, 20, 15, 30 years.
Yeah, it depends on how long you're committed to wait.
You live
mean,
your life. You be the
nothing
man.
good is
You
around the
live your
corner.
life, yeah.
Nothing. Whenever I feel like quitting something, I'm not talking about love, but I think it doesn't apply towards love. But just think of a goal that you're chasing. I always have that image in my head before I think of starting to quit.
Right.
It's always that there are two guys, like, the one above other.
Right.
There are two different set of images in a frame where
Hmm.
the person who's digging has found the goal, and the person who quit, had he hit two more strokes,
Yeah.
You
would
would have
have
found a bigger piece of gold.
correct.
Yeah.
So I always feel, but then again, that is not true all the time, right? You need to know when to withdraw.
You need to cut your losses because
To a certain
yeah.
extent.
Correct.
To a
Because
certain extent.
again, this is self-contradictory, because that way you would endlessly keep on approaching, thinking of, assuming that there's light at the end of the tunnel. So
Right.
you need to understand there are certain parameters to analyze.
So the day you're operating from abundance, probably things will happen magically. But
have-
you need to
have-
actually put in
yeah.
the work.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you need
Have
to
you
go
guys
out there.
have you guys
date.
read Think and Grow Rich? There's
I want to read that.
there's you should.
Yeah.
It's so there's a story right in the beginning where
Hmm.
he mentions of some big oil corporate
Yeah.
who just went into this ditch and dug 20 feet deep,
Right.
because someone already dug it,
Okay.
and they dug 20 feet deep, and there was oil.
Wow.
And the people who quit digging
Right.
went bankrupt. They sold their machinery,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
didn't pay their labor properly, blah blah blah. And these people, so here's the lesson. So they failed at the oil digging thing, this quote
Hmm.
unquote failed.
Hmm.
Okay, had they gone 20 feet deeper, they would have succeeded, but they were just fried.
Hmm.
Okay. Then they went up and they set up like a tech corporate.
Yeah.
And they succeeded there instead.
Right.
And Napoleon Hill, the author of the book, went to work for these people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now I may have butchered some bits and pieces of this exact story here and there, because it's
Got
been
it.
a while.
Got it. But that's the moral.
That's
of
the
it.
reference is
Yeah.
right there. You guys can go, and it's a great book.
Right.
Think and Grow Rich. So coming and tying all this to the whole thing, which is the sunk cost fallacy, because you've blown in so much money, time, effort, energy,
Yeah.
thought into this thing. You're like,
Right.
oh, a little bit more and I'm going to be fine.
Hmm.
And it's not the answer. You have to, life is telling you that, hey, the chapter that needs to unfold is not in this direction.
Hmm.
So do anything but this. Try. Okay.
Hmm.
Go elsewhere, do something else. And maybe you find you will definitely find something worthwhile. Okay, and this is the toughest thing to do, is to like really cut your losses and to just say, okay, done. I can't be with this person because it's not happening. And I mean, you want to get personal, I could go personal. I've been into this situation very recently where I was with this girl for say a year and a half, and when it was time to end it, it wasn't happening because we both were so used to each other,
Right.
that once in a while either I'll end up calling her or she'll end up calling me, and this and that, and the end keeps getting stretched and stretched and stretched and stretched till you just say, till it gets to a point where you just have to say, man, I just can't die like this, because I'm feeling lonelier than a single guy trying to make this relationship work. That's bad, dude. Okay, that's a bad quote also. Don't ever quote me on that one. So come now, referencing to the Rational Male, my favorite book, wherein you become your mental point of origin. So whatever you're doing, you come back to the good old drawing board of yourself, your personal self, and you say, okay, what are my expectations with me? Let's come back to that thing.
I was going to come to that.
Forget expecting what I need from this other person, because if I'm expecting things out of the other person, there's something wrong in my wiring to begin with.
Right.
Okay. Keep remembering a few things. There's a Sean Connery interview where this interviewer asks, this very pretty lady asks him, so how do you deal with disappointments? And Sean Connery goes, the same way I'm dealing with you, right?
Too harsh, but
Sean Connery is James Bond.
James Bond,
back in the day, one of the OGs. So he was brutal.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he was, and he very unapologetic, and I think, if you're true to yourself, man, everyone should be that way. You avoid. It's a very like we're coming back to, because this whole thing ties up with so many things. You as a person draw a perimeter around you, and you have a very us versus them mentality. Okay, like whatever I want in my life, in the perimeter. Whatever I welcome, whatever I deserve, whatever I attract, in the perimeter.
Okay.
Everything else, you're giving me pain, suffering, you're bringing me down, you're, what do you say? Like, you don't agree with the way I want to live, and this and that, outside the perimeter.
Got it.
Okay, so it's a very, and if you live your life in such a way, man, you just weed out so much drama, trauma, crass crap out of your life. Just like, all you need to do is, the toughest thing is to stick to this fucking rule. Okay.
Yeah.
It's tough, but just if you make it happen, man, it's a very binary situation. It's ones and zeros, in or out.
Maybe not a binary situation with humans, the way I see it.
It's not, man. It's always has to
be.
be.
We want it to be, but it doesn't.
Yeah. That's the human part of us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then again, the other day I was seeing Sadhguru's video where he said that a person, if he loves someone, right? Do you expect that person to do what you want her to do, or do you let her do what she wants to do out of love? How are you operating with that person, right? So I mean, clear-cut expectations that. So I think what I would say to the listeners, work on yourself more. And sitting here on the third or the fourth episode, Varun, you said attract, right? I mean, be the authentic self that you are. Have a purpose. I mean, have friends. Don't burden someone with your expectations. Don't burden someone with something. Have a happy life.
And end of the day, who are you burdening, man? You're burdening yourself.
Exactly. I mean, you can't lift so much of weight on your shoulders. Already there's plenty on your plate. So even the other day, I was having a conversation with Ro. He mentioned this very, very perfectly. To have a stable child, all the parents need to do is love each other and show that they love each other and actually love each other as well. Right? I mean, that's where the functional family and the functional relationship and a healthy child comes out of. So it might just be putting in work. It might just be your overall being, that you are a loving person in general, right? So that's where you want to reach. But then again, the answer is inwards. You try and find it outwards, and you're going to set yourself up for trouble.
So the less expectations you bring in a relation, the chances for it
agreed.
to blossom are more.
Agreed. And it has to be two ways. I mean, it just cannot be one way. You need to understand where that person does come from, and whatever that person is going through with you, without you. You need to sort of try and work your way out also.
And then you keep the door open for surprise and wonderful things can happen.
Oh, absolutely. Be in acceptance of the
Yeah.
gifts that are going to come to you.
Like, I mean, you gave me the example of, I'm not going to name anyone right now, but you went with a certain lady and you had no expectations, you had no plan, no nothing.
Right.
In fact, you were like, man, I didn't even plan the date properly because I
Yeah.
just didn't. And you landed up dancing with her under a beautifully lit bridge, like a flyover or something.
Mm.
Okay. And
Yeah.
so
kind of, not exactly. Yeah.
not exactly.
So we sat, we spoke, and it was
But a
it was
fun
nice.
evening, right?
Yeah. So I mean, I didn't have any expectations out of it.
Yeah.
It was nice.
See, your face just
Exactly.
lit up with, because you left that door open for surprise and for wonder to flow in.
True.
Now, if you keep that door closed, and we're going to do this X thing. After that, my itinerary says we're going to do Y thing, and we're going to have a ice cream and naturals and a coffee
causes
at
a
Old
lot of
Bailey's and
trouble.
a salad at Wafresh, which you should definitely.
Oh yeah, big shout out.
What a smooth integration. I mean,
So if you keep your itinerary so full, where is the
But I will actually say this, beautifully pointed out. The day I've sort of racked my brains into how do I plan my dates and where do I go, blah 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 blah.
It's good to have something.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I know a direction. So the other day I went out on this date. I said that we are going to meet up at 7 a.m. and let's see how the day plans out.
Exactly.
It was freaking amazing.
Yep.
I mean, it was.
are you prescribing 7 a.m. dates?
Oh yeah, be a morning person, man. Come on.
Oh yeah.
Superb.
But then the way I guess we were together for a good 12-14 hours.
Wow.
That's kick-ass.
And it was
Wow.
nice, and it wasn't out of compulsion that we want to. Both of us wanted to be there.
Open for an experience.
Oh, absolutely. And we danced. We spoke a lot. It was good. It was good.
You left the door open for surprise
Absolutely,
and wonder to walk in.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I mean, at that moment, I thought, what can we do? Something came up. You want to try? She said, yes. Let's go.
Exactly.
I mean, that's how I guess it
It's
was
so
much
nice
easier.
now she's reciprocating your investment. She's
Oh, true that.
reciprocating in every form. She's looking
that.
forward to it. It's
True
fun. This is how it's supposed to be.
Make it fun. I mean,
It should be effortlessly flowing. You can never negotiate desire. That's one red pill that people need to swallow.
right.
Is you can't forcibly tell her that, hey, but I'm this and that, and I have a 6-pack, and I'm making bank, and I have a
Yeah.
McLaren 720S, which I would like to own someday. But
Yeah.
But
amen.
I've got all this, and why you? Why wouldn't you come out with me?
Oh,
Who are
that's
you to
painful.
think? This is just awful. If people
painful.
think you can't negotiate that, in fact, just give a little bit in order to receive. I mean, we're back
True.
to that also. So same thing, man. Like how you
Yeah.
mentioned your date.
Yeah.
I went to meet someone for a coffee and
Right.
we landed up at Karja. Then we returned like 2 days later.
Wow.
So, and I had no plan, literally no
Was
plan.
it the first date or?
This was the first time I'm meeting that
Wow.
person. Okay?
Wow.
And I set up, I rang my friend up. I'm like, hey, are you a farm person? Would you
Sounds like
like
a Ranbir Kapoor movie.
So, and it's nice to
Nice.
come across someone who's like, okay, you know what? Actually, let's do it. I need to. And the girl was like, I need to log in the next morning into my work and this and that. I'm like, done. So why don't you log in from a beautiful location? And I have a studio set up there. You just log in from there and we continue the party over there. And she's like, you know what? Actually, I would like to see that farm. Let's go. And boom.
Wow.
I had literally no plan after that coffee.
Wow.
Okay. My plan was so bad. I probably said, maybe we can get muffins or something. She's like, oh God, that's so bad.
But then, who knows? Maybe she would have enjoyed the muffins which you were serving.
All right.
Yeah,
that's
but
for another
maybe
episode,
correction.
yeah.
I guess you were right. I did mention of that dance, and I guess we did dance. I mean, my bad memory.
Yeah.
But it was nice. But then I get it.
No,
the more
you did it intentionally to make me look bad right now.
Oh,
okay?
hell no, fuck no. I mean, this would have been perfect, right? I mean, you plan on the date being in an X way, and it happens to be X plus Y plus Z. I don't know, whatever. Fuck, it was good. You had a great experience, right? Sitting here listening to you, I had a great experience. I mean, damn, that's amazing, yaar. I mean,
Yeah, makes single people sad.
no,
Somebody
no,
talk
no.
about my experience.
No, AB Chan is like coaches don't play. Okay.
No, then
So good.
you shouldn't lose on happiness out of sheer planning.
No, so but here's the
Plan
thing with
stuff,
AB
yeah.
Chan also. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
between us all three right now doing this podcast, he has the least problems going on in his life. He's got his own set of problems.
Oh, exactly.
I mean, you can tell the man by the size of his problems. All that applies, obviously.
Yeah.
But he's not bogged down with this stuff that, oh, my girlfriend's doing this and that. Or what do I wear on the date tomorrow? What do I plan? And this. He's just flying high on some other frequency only, man.
Yeah.
Like the next business strategy, the next
Yeah.
goal, the next target, the next
next
thing.
big thing,
And hey, by the way, if I'm leaving the back door open, if a girl wants to walk in, she can come in and join the party and tell me what songs she wants to
True.
hear so I can play them on my system and blast it out. And, we have a great time, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Sounds so good when you say it, man.
But then I'll still say, AB Chan, you need to a bit, just put yourself out there. Maybe just be in a position where to receive. That's it.
No, I mean, where do you stand?
Not
To
where we
put-
think. I
so
mean,
it's not
but then-
like I
You
don't put
stand by the
myself out
beach
there.
on the rocks and you get a good picture clicked and you put it on Bumble, Tinder, or Hinge.
Then
or
it would be
anything like
playing
that.
their game, right?
it's not playing any game. It's,
You're
it's
just putting yourself
the
in a
process.
position to
Yeah.
receive. You bought Ethereum when it was cheap, right? So you put yourself in that spot.
So
why wouldn't you
something
buy
that
this
I'm,
Ethereum?
something that I'm comfortable in, right? And again, like I said earlier, like
I think you'll
one
get
needs to
comfortable.
one needs to understand the bandwidth that they have, the
Hmm.
level of understanding. I'm not saying
No, that's-
maturity.
that's
I'm
true,
matured
that's
enough,
Yeah.
but then the level of understanding, right? I mean, right now I feel I'm more demanding as a person. But is it right to have the same set of mind in a relation? No, it doesn't.
Maybe I'll try to put in ways which how you explained things to me. You need to actually set yourself up for certain failures to reach to a particular success. To a certain extent, well, not setting yourself up for failures, but take those risks.
If that is so one desires, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
Correct. So,
absolutely. If
So like I said, I mean, it's a conscious decision that I've made that currently, like I'm not saying that I'll stay single forever, or I don't know how it pans out.
I mean, that's actually
so-
bringing in some good hearts for women.
No,
Of course, women have asked me for you.
oh,
That's
is
for
it?
sure. Oh yeah, absolutely. I told you the other day, for sure. Look at his face. I'm blushing right now.
I just don't know what to respond, how to respond. I mean, but then again, it's like
No, I get where you're coming from. That you're not in a position to maybe have that
No,
in your life right now.
I feel genuinely that I value relationships more. Right now, it's just that I'm not in that mode or zone where I would value.
Right.
I don't want any person because of me to have some shitty experience because I couldn't understand, because I
Hmm.
demanded more. See, you guys have to be so much conscious in a relationship.
Yeah, it does
The
take
projections,
It does.
the
I mean,
projections that
There
you
is a bandwidth.
give out,
No,
right?
Certainly. But then once you try and make it as a part of your being,
And again,
maybe
like
it'll
you
be
said,
easier.
like invest in what's reciprocate in what's being invested,
right?
right? I mean, this is not
Is
how
too much
I
work for you.
yeah, I mean, this is not
Yeah.
how I function,
Okay.
right? I mean, I'm okay with not receiving as much as I'm investing, because again, like somehow everything revolves around me.
Hmm.
It's more important for me to feel in a certain way.
Right.
Mhm.
Like I was saying the other day, right? If it's my first date or if it's a girl that I'm dating, not if I'm straight, so I'll be dating a girl,
Hmm.
right? So if I'm dating a girl, when I'm dating a girl,
Hmm.
and if I'm in that abundance, like if I had 2 days stay at a farm, right? I wouldn't mind buying her a diamond ring, gifting jewelry. So, but
Right.
then again, how that is being taken, if she feels like, oh fuck, like,
Mm.
is he getting serious? To me, I'm like, I'm just happy.
Mm.
I felt joy.
Mm.
And if this act makes you feel a little closer to how I feel,
Mm.
then let it be. So I don't believe in resisting myself. Then
Right.
that won't be that I am.
Mm.
I don't,
Yeah.
somehow I don't believe. Like, obviously, when I start dating and I have my own set of failures and difficulties, I'll
Mm.
probably change my
Exactly.
methods.
Maybe right now,
But
where you're standing from, this
correct.
is how you see
I
it.
just feel like,
Hmm.
not to say that to hell with what the girl feels about me, but I'm definitely not going to resist
No,
myself
you're
from.
just full of compassion and love at that moment, so you feel
Exactly.
like doing it, and
Yeah,
you do
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
and I would want to.
yeah. I really want to hear where he goes from here next.
Oh, absolutely.
this
I'd love
segment,
to see that.
I'll tell you a story. So Paul
Hmm.
McCartney and John Lennon
Hmm.
were sitting writing this song where John Lennon went and wrote these lines: "Baby, I want to buy you a diamond ring.
Hmm.
Baby, you're my only thing."
Hmm.
Stuff like that. And then John writes this, and Paul just looks at it and like, "Oh God, this is not happening." So then they land up writing the song, which is the Beatles song called "Baby, You Can Ride My Car." They went from "I'm gonna buy you a diamond ring" to boom, 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 all the way to bloody
Just
"Baby,
driving
you
my
can
car.
ride my car,
My
car.
Okay.
Guess I'm gonna be the star, baby. I love you." Wow, I'm singing at the podcast today. Great.
Oh, this is good.
So yeah, so
No,
that,
but I am that foolish, selfless guy when it comes to love.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I've written poems. I mean,
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
and good
I
ones.
love, like, so it's been a while that I've written anything
Hmm.
because I don't have anyone that I could dedicate it to. I don't want to write
but
about
keep
myself.
the back door open.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That
it's
is
always open.
what I would
I
say.
might deny because again it makes me feel
No,
uncomfortable
but one
to
thing
have that thought.
I've seen about AB, I've never seen him crib about
Yeah.
this, right? I mean, he's never coming from a place that, hey, you know what? I also deserve this. I also deserve that. Why don't I get this? Never. The sheer conviction with which he said that I am just not ready for it. He knows where he is at. The way I see it, I mean, that's my two Satoshis on it. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
Come again.
So you weren't paying attention for the
Oh,
things
sorry.
that
but
I've been saying. Okay.
You just spoke about the lyrics, right? So I had also written a poem for one of my
great,
ex.
great,
So
great.
I was
We're
just
gonna have
opening
that on the podcast.
Yeah, I'll be
but
reading.
in
I'll
the
be
next,
reading. But
after
yeah, please tell me.
2 minutes. So
Yeah.
Again, for even the listeners, when AB says that he's not ready for it, he knows where he's coming from, right? So I've never seen him crib. You know what? He has a girlfriend. She has a boyfriend. He has a this. She has a that. And you know how they are happy, and I feel miserable seeing them, and I feel resentful seeing them. Never.
Yeah, there is
Never.
zero FOMO.
Exactly.
He's complete by himself, which is
Exactly.
fucking hate the guy.
It took a
for
lot of
being so-
time.
yeah.
It took a lot of time.
He is
I
in the
admire that
perfect
the
setting
most.
of receiving.
Yeah.
The way I see it.
Yeah.
But then it's just that you need to, like you said, keep the back door open, which I guess is shut with just one lock ref. Maybe
As in?
that one padlock, if it just opens up.
What
He's so
would that
analytical
padlock
that
be?
he doesn't understand.
I'm
the
What
loving
would
it.
that
analysis.
padlock be?
We're being super poetic tonight. I'm loving it. man.
No, but again, like,
no, it's
how,
not a padlock as such. I mean, your own thing that you don't want to date right now. The day you say that I want to date, I want to try this, that's when that padlock comes out. Maybe you try it, maybe you don't. Maybe you come across someone tomorrow. Who knows? I mean,
yeah, I'll be open to receiving.
exactly. That's
I'll
the
be open
only
to
thing which
receiving.
I want from you. That
But
just
then
be open.
I feel I want to attract.
Exactly.
I want to attract.
Again,
And-
it is going to come with certain
And
things.
the
with it.
reason I don't crib or I feel that I'm left out, like everyone, like literally everyone is in a relation, right? Or dating someone,
yeah, kind of
married.
Sort of. Yeah. Mhm.
like almost everyone.
Yeah.
The reason now I don't feel, the reason I feel satisfied now is because my initial years were pathetic.
Right.
How I started off with like being a kid, when I started noticing that people around me were dating, I too had that need to date.
Right.
And that's when I failed miserably.
Hmm.
I still do not regret the efforts that I put in, how blindly in love I was. No, I don't.
Hmm.
I always feel I could have been more matured,
Yeah.
right? I always feel that. I don't blame the girls also. They played a very crucial role in my life. to what I believe today. I've met the girls that have allowed me to date them, or the girls I have dated. They have, like, I've learned valuable lessons from them. They have been so fucking strong. Like, no means no. When they set out their mind, see commitment, how I derived it, how I derive from them. They were so fucking committed when they said that they don't want to talk to me. They bloody ensured that they didn't want to.
Right.
It was terrible for me, right? That I could not reach out to them. I couldn't talk to them. You just imagine, like, and maybe that feeling of being vulnerable is still so strong that I know how stupid I get when I'm in love. And probably I don't want to feel the same again right now. I'm not in that state that I would want to feel the same again.
Right.
So, and why would I intentionally trouble myself? Why? It's all about cherry picking, right? The troubles that I need in life, business and job, these troubles I'm okay with.
I guess there's one more padlock. The day you stop relating this to as trouble, maybe that's when you are open to receiving.
I'm not saying they being trouble. It can also, and it will also be that I'm trouble for them. My state of mind, right?
Tomato, still.
Yeah, but see, you have to see it for what it is. For you to feel that it's not a trouble, you have to go through so much trouble.
Exactly. Not trouble, I would say.
So much people, right? Who
you
do
have to go
trouble
through
you.
experiences.
Yeah,
you
who do trouble you. Just imagine your focus being fucked. Right? And at times I do feel like, I've been single for a very long time now.
Yeah.
And just imagine how fucking vulnerable I could be if I find a person who makes me miserable. Like you've all had your own set of difficulties, bit of heartaches, heartbreaks, right? And I could see it being amplified 100x if it comes to me, because I'm new to this territory. Not that I resist feeling love again, but and I'm okay being foolish because I know I won't let it, because the magnitude to which I let it affect me. Again, minimal expectations from my end and performing minimally towards the other person's expectation also matters to me. If I feel good today, you'll feel great.
You want to date another AB channel.
I don't know, it's difficult being with me. But then again, I'm hard to love, I feel. Because over the years,
don't do that, man.
Yeah. How can you satisfy me? Because the level to which I can satiate my needs, make myself feel whole, who can do it for me? The person has to be absolutely selfless. Has to be my mother, has to be my sister.
I'm telling you, you'll find someone. There is
definitely.
I'm absolutely
there's an AB
open.
chain. How do you even
Abby.
There's an Abby. Yeah. There's an Abby Chan out there.
So there's a poem that I had written to the girl that I had dated.
Listeners, yep.
So it's like, and my poems are all
that's
about...
That's becoming an NFT, I'm just saying.
My poems, like every time...
You can definitely count on that. Yeah.
They're all about heartbreaks and betrayal, and this poem seems to be neutral, and it's like... and I tend to use the word baby a lot. Now it's very awkward to say the word
that's
baby.
That's okay.
Just go for it, baby.
So it goes like, baby, no matter where we are, I'll keep looking at the sky. No matter how confused, I'll keep looking out for signs. Baby, no matter how big our fights, I'll keep looking out for smile. No matter how wrong you are, I'll always be by your side. Baby, because you're my moon, would you let me be your light? Because you are my star, would you let me be your sky?
Whoa.
And this is just one of the many junks that I have.
That's not a junk, man.
No, I'm in abundance.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, this is just a drop.
So that's no reason for calling it junk.
No, I mean, I was just
and to bring the point home, he has no expectations of anyone else giving any opinion about it. He's just like, it's what I have. To bring the point home about expectations, you have zero expectation of anybody else, whether liking it or not liking it or saying anything about it. It's just like, this is
just
what
raw,
just expression. It's like
because I've learned to live with myself more.
Yeah.
And stopped impressing people.
The only person you need to impress is yourself.
I have a need to be impressed. with almost every actions that I take.
Hmm.
So again, having insane level and amount of expectations works
Yeah.
for me.
Positive expectations.
100%,
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Because negativity, I leave it to the people.
All right,
Yeah.
Mr. Sean Connery.
But then,
Sweet, yeah.
so maybe let's come to that particular section wherein we talk about what sort of advice and books that you'll recommend your younger self. Anyone wants to go
Mm.
first, or I could start.
I've never read any book, novel. and I
about
don't-
expectations? Maybe certain things, maybe a podcast or whatever you could recommend.
Did you just say expectations maybe, or did you say expectations baby because you like the poem so
Oh
much?
yeah! Big shout out to A.B. Chan for his poems and the babies.
Sweet. Chalo,
Yeah.
I can go first if
For
you
sure,
guys don't mind.
sure.
I mean, I mentioned a few already.
Hmm.
Think and Grow Rich,
Yeah.
especially for that initial story,
Yeah.
and for so many other things. It's just an endless gold mine, man. That book.
Hmm.
What else did I mention? Rational Male.
Hmm.
What A.B. Chan doing right now is is 101 being mental point of origin as himself.
Yeah.
The only person you have to develop, grow, be with, and what do you say, deal with, or all of those things is you. Impress
Hmm.
is you. Okay,
Hmm.
have expectations from yourself.
Right.
Okay,
and this only
yeah.
comes after doing everything opposite.
You live and learn, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You can only draw conclusions. It's like if you've never dated someone, if you've never failed, you
Hmm.
cannot immediately draw conclusions and just follow that.
Hmm.
If you can, then it won't be your original belief.
Right.
Instead of adopting beliefs, I always feel like I would rather fail and experience myself and then draw
Life has
conclusion.
been a learning experience. for you.
Yeah.
Big time.
So yeah, Think and Grow Rich, Rational Male. I mean, I keep mentioning the Unplugged Alpha all the time. That's
Right.
my just to go
The
to,
go-to.
just to
Mm.
remind people, remind the young man that if we're talking about the
Mm.
18-year-old me, would just read their book and that would light up a fire under my ass. That hey, we have the burden of performance and how to the whole inside perimeter, outside perimeter things that comes from the Unplugged Alpha.
Okay.
So you like choose your struggles in life and don't choose unnecessary struggles in life. Don't make others' problems so heavy-heartedly your problems. Okay.
Mm.
And there is a segment about expectations. It's the same thing. Reciprocate the investment and all these things I'm talking.
Right.
They just didn't come out of the ether. It's all there
Mm.
in the books. And I am a book person. I love reading books. You'll
Mm.
see my bag is just heavy with just tons and tons of books.
Wow.
Nice.
My mom is like, "Do you even read them?" I'm like,
Mm.
"Of course I
Hell
do."
yeah.
It's
Mm.
because I keep carrying them around with me everywhere I go.
Mm.
So yeah, what else? There is. I'm gonna come back to Joe Rogan now because it's been a long time. I've
Oh, yeah.
kind of deviated from Joe Rogan's content, but there was this one. If you just search like Joe Rogan motivation
Mm.
on YouTube, you'll find this 18 or maybe 20-minute clip where Joe Rogan is talking about your life is your movie.
29-30 minutes video basically. Giruvad
See,
also.
so
Yeah,
you guys
yeah.
know what I'm talking about.
Correct.
So your life is your movie, and right now the character is going through a shitty turmoil
Yeah.
phase of the movie, and you need to come out strong and this and that, and he's just going on and on. That today I think I thought about that video, and I
Okay.
was like, wow, I should have seen that when I was 18. I would have been like this driven and this focused and choosing my battles in life smartly,
Mm.
and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay, and obviously you're living and learning, so experiences teach you.
True that.
Your mistakes teach you. The best lessons are in your mistakes, because when you get burnt, you're like, okay, all right, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that again. Okay, so yeah, that thing. And one thing I want to say about expectations is just like, that's the thing. You have to leave the back door open for surprise, for wonder
Right.
to walk in. And me and Ajay, my singer from my college band, we sit and write songs. Like he's one of those, like a creative partner that I click with so much.
Mm.
Anytime we sit down and we either have a drink or have a chit chat and this
Yeah.
and that, I would play a chord on the guitar and just say one line, and he would give the perfect rhyme for it. I had no expectation.
It's
the-
such
when-
a good feeling. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
We
A
finished.
poet
actually,
and
we
I've heard his
finished-
lyrics and
No, even the good
Big
ones.
shout out to Ajay.
Yeah, big shout out to Ajay. We will
Mm.
have him over sometime. And have him
absolutely,
play
We
also.
should, we
absolutely.
should.
Please do.
We'll have him
We
perform.
need you,
also.
Ajay.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we like finish each other's lyrics. We write songs for
Yeah.
each other, and they land up this and that. And we began the night with anda. We began the night with zero expectation of,
Mm.
and from the ether again, from the unseen or from inspiration or zero expectation. We land
Right.
up writing a song. The story is I met him on Christmas after like a year and a half.
Mm.
I was playing a show at Pablo. So, and he showed up and he's like, next year is going to be 10 years of our college band.
Wow.
So all he wanted to, he was very hammered, by the way. Ajay, man, stop drinking, bro. And so yeah, so he was so drunk. He was like, all he wanted to do was play a nice show and celebrate a 10-year anniversary and just call it quits after that. Okay, great.
Yeah.
We did it when we were young. The zeal is done. We're all old and we have jobs and we have lives. So maybe this is a chapter that's kind of sailed.
Coming to an end. Yeah.
And first week of the New Year's, I get back from Goa and I meet him for a drink and this. And he's like, come check out my new house and everything. We land up writing 2 songs that night, 2 new songs.
Wow.
We haven't written a song in like 5 years or something.
Mm.
And I'm like, dude, I run a studio. We have all the resources that we wished we had 10 years back.
Right.
Seriously.
We should do a bloody album, all the old songs, maybe write some more new ones. I was going through like a confusing whatever of a relationship at that time. So we wrote a song about that and we had a laugh about it. There's a great release of things that you have clocked up in your head and everything. It's so beautiful that
Right.
boom, 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 things just click left, right, and center. And now we're in the process of recording the 10-year anniversary album, which all of you will probably hear at the end of a few podcasts in a bit.
Yeah.
And also it'll be on Spotify and you can blast your
So
speakers
just for
and
the
party
viewers,
along.
that song is still stuck in my head, and I've been just trying to,
yeah.
sort of. It's
That's
that
a
good.
That's a good indication.
Yeah,
That
for
poem's
sure.
gonna be stuck in my head.
Oh,
Actually.
that's for sure.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
just
Mm.
if you're a person from a creative field,
Mm.
just man, this having no expectations is your fucking ammunition. Okay.
True.
Like
As difficult as it
you
is
need
to
to-
fathom, but yeah.
you need to walk into that creative zone where you sit and do your whatever is that you do, and have zero expectations. Have the paper clean in front of you, and just go for it. Just wing it. Just fucking do it.
And be open to receive.
There you go, and it will arrive. Whatever has been going on in your head, in your life, and this and that, there is always a story.
Yeah.
Just needs to be poured out.
True.
And same thing with relationships and this and that. So yeah, having zero expectations actually is just let life unfold, man. It's a fun ride and you're supposed to enjoy it. Go for it.
Maybe any 2 Satoshis to the 18-year-old self, and
Or
Any-
like a million Bitgird.
oh yeah, a billion bitcoins
Yes,
for
yes.
it. Yeah. Bitcoin to the moon. The only expectation we have.
I feel do not feel obliged to unsaid expectations. Just do not. And secondly, I mean, I would like to say, like, people who expect tons from you and still they have that unwavering trust in
Yeah.
you. Those are, I mean, worth much more than crypto, digital gold, or whatnot, just whatever you call it. Because, and whenever your tank is on empty, whenever you have crisis in believing, just look at the loved ones around you, the closest relations that you have.
So true.
It can, who, despite your actions, do not, basically, wherein your actions do not determine their level of trust in you. Look around the people who genuinely, unconditionally love you and complain less.
And any content or anything that you would recommend your 18-year-old self to consume, probably say certain word of wisdom, certain content of wisdom? Because I know you've got lots that you've been using in terms of equipping yourself in terms of content. So like podcasts or something that you would want to recommend.
Like, come to think of it, there's no particular content that I found which talks only about expectation per se. It's a mix and match actually.
Sure.
But then the type of content that I generally consume is like Joe Rogan, Jordan Peterson, then Jocko Willink.
Jocko Willink,
Yeah. Actually, a lot of it can be derived from business content as well. Like I love listening to these wealthy people talk,
Elon Musk.
Oh, that is one such thing. Like, I've been listening to his book on Audible, and it's the 4th time. It's a 13-hour long book that I've been listening to, and this is the 4th time. So basically, I passively listen to that. I don't actively listen to those. So every time, it's like every time I come to know that, something new. Yeah, absolutely. And again, which reminds me of when you said, like, know when to withdraw, which Varun was saying, like not to endlessly chase.
Sunk cost fallacy.
Correct. But then again, it's like few among us have been lucky to have witnessed the results of not stopping when they had to, when the signs were to stop.
Right.
Like Tesla.
True.
From Elon Musk, basically, I discovered a lot of things. Like SpaceX was on the verge of bankruptcy. Tesla was on the verge of bankruptcy.
Right.
Being committed to the pot. Elon Musk had the last 20 mil and he put it all. So putting yourself in a position of vulnerability will also help you discover a lot of things. So today he's successful. He can say it, with confidence that he did it. But then again, he also knew what were the consequences.
Yeah, he knows what he had to go through.
Correct.
He alone knows.
He doesn't wish it on anyone.
True. He does say that in one of his
But
videos.
then that is one of his ways to discourage people from pursuing.
You see it in a different
So
perspective.
I think every vulnerability, be it in relation, business, job, will make you a different person. You just need to be smart enough to correct your course along the way.
Maybe what I would suggest my 18-year-old self, don't be so hard on yourself to find yourself as such. It'll come to you. It'll definitely come to you at the right time. Nothing comes early on. Maybe you need to go through a lot of experiences to understand, like Varun was saying, commit certain mistakes to only learn from it. And if you don't learn from it, you're the stupid fuck and the joke's on you. This is what I'll tell
No, but
myself.
you're dropping bombs, man. These are gems. Like, try something. Be a part of something.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't just sit on that chair and say that, you know what, I'm willing to accept things. Nothing's going to come.
So
to you
when was the
automatically.
last time you did something for the first time?
Oh, yeah. Ooh, mama.
That's
going to be a
it makes
podcast for
so
sure.
much sense.
That's going to be a podcast for sure.
I took out the trumpet yesterday.
All right.
Boy, my lungs are gone.
That's something different which you've tried, and that's something to learn from, right? I mean, till the time you don't take that first step,
correct,
you wouldn't know how life would have been.
And I also feel the reason I've taken up a lot of obligations work-wise is so that I could also experience failures.
Yeah.
Not that I'm excelling in everything. No, I'm failing miserably as well.
Right.
But then again, my head is on the right path and I know how I will.
Also, do find the smaller happinesses and keep on, sort of treating yourself nicely for the achievements that the smaller bits that you've reached.
So don't spend too much time on that also.
No,
because
I agree.
You will find comfort.
No, don't be complacent into it. What I would say is celebrate it. It's okay to celebrate a smaller happiness so that you know that after that celebration, there's going to be the next thing. You need to remember that. You just cannot just say that, now that I've made my first million, done. I'm not going to do anything further than that. You need to certainly reach a particular point.
So it's such a beautiful thing to understand and take cognizance of is your the physique of every human has a certain limit.
Yeah.
To withhold pressure, weight, anything, right? There's a
Right.
certain limit.
Right.
Few among us have far exceeded, pushed those limits, but
Yeah.
then again, even they have a certain limit. The beauty
True.
about setting and achieving goals is there's no fucking limit.
Absolutely.
Your mind is limitless.
Absolutely. You need to identify that
Correct.
everything in this world is out there to grab. Don't expect, attract, enjoy the journey. I mean, you're driving to Bandra, be aware what's happening, how you're driving.
Have
Don't
the
just
path in your eyes and Bandra in your head.
Exactly. You know where
Not
you're
vice
heading to.
versa.
Just know that there is a direction. Just keep walking and stay committed to your direction. Hold your grounds where it is needed. And if you need to actually walk away from it, do walk away from it as well. You don't necessarily need to sort of be harsh to yourself that you screwed it up, or probably it was you who did that. There's always going to be a tomorrow where you can actually work on yourself and realize that there are going to be better people that you're going to come across. There are going to be better opportunities that you come across. Be there to receive. Also, I mean, crying, moping, blaming is not going to definitely help you. If you are passionate about something, pick it up. Don't wait for someone to tell you that what, you're passionate about it. Don't be on your deathbed and say that what, I could have done that and probably life would have been different. So I guess that is what
Nobody
I would
goes on their deathbed and says, "Oh, I wish I could work 4 more days extra. I wish I could log in at 10:01 like they asked me to, and not at
exactly
fucking 2:30 and
Correct.
this and that." It's just
And it's
And-
like, when do you fail?
Yeah.
When do you fail?
There's
when you
no
haven't
answer.
fulfilled
When
your
you
life's
quit.
potential.
The
and
day you quit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your investments, like I always, I never panic about my portfolio being 80%, 20. You were saying some time back that
Today only,
one
yeah.
of your
If you-
investment is 80% down.
Yeah.
I don't care.
So
yeah.
absolutely, you
Yeah.
shouldn't, because the time is the variable, right? If you have time, then you're not going to fail.
Mm.
And it's never like, there's no point being stressed if my portfolio is down 50%.
Mm.
Even one of my investments is down almost 90%, I believe.
Oh.
But then again, is it a failed investment? No, absolutely
The
not.
day you
It's in
cash
the
out.
red.
The
Yeah,
day you
when I
cash
want to
out
cash
is
out is the day I book my loss.
Absolutely.
Mm.
And watch me the day I book my loss. Never.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And certain content which I would recommend is Rich Dad Poor Dad. That's one thing which actually changed the way I see money. Psychology of Money, highly recommended. One book which actually altered my perspective in terms of seeing things for what it is, 3% Man. Must read at least 10 times for everyone. Each
15,
time you learn
15.
something new.
Coach Corey even says 15 to 20 times.
Oh, nice.
It should
Uh,
be the language.
Maybe
that you
50
speak.
times for
Yeah.
that matter, but it's an amazing book. It does give you a lot of truth bombs. It does give you a different perspective to see things. Also, consume content where you want to head towards. So if you want to head towards Bitcoin, start consuming content about Bitcoin. Just don't sit like that and then sort of make your money's worth for your Netflix, or I mean, no offenses to Netflix, good content, sure. But consume the right content is what I would say, because that's going to actually, that's the investment which you put right now, which is going to reap you certain benefits later on. And yeah, put in the work, man. I mean, pick yourself up, get that Audible, listen to stuff if you cannot read. Do the work. I mean, that's the only way you want to sort of head to. I mean, probably the seventh podcast, I've been still saying, put in the work. I mean, that's how you reach there. Just cannot sit and say that, I'm willing to receive. So yeah, that's
Everyone's willing to receive up, starting
Absolutely.
from the beggar.
who doesn't want.
They are 100% willing to receive.
Absolutely. But then you need to sort of put in the work, put in the right. You are going to be in certain situations which are not in your favor, but there are always ways. I've seen A.B. Chan grow from something to something. He knows. what he's become.
Yeah,
I've
it's like
seen Varun
not
also
believing what people say, right?
Hmm.
That
Exactly,
also
I mean-
helps. Like I honestly feel like if the times hadn't changed,
grow.
I still like people would have been recommending me to pursue graduation.
Yeah, still people are. A lot of them are.
But
then,
that
I
has
mean, they
grown way
have
less.
just the
But then
best
again,
interest in
it's not like people around you are wishing for your
Hmm.
best.
exactly just
And
the best
them
interest in
suggesting, like even you would have still emphasized, right? But the reason you are not is because you understand. And even if you were, and it was nothing wrong, because what it would do, have give me the ability, a chance to lead
Correct.
a secured life.
Right.
So there's nothing wrong. But then again, it's not always, hey, I proved you wrong. No.
I told you so is
don't-
not the moment where you want to be.
Don't get into that. Do not
That's
let
messed up.
that be your motivation that you want to prove someone else wrong. No.
That's just
No, that's
Oh.
Although even used in the right way, that can be a hell of a motivation.
that should
Oh,
be a
yeah.
motivation. That should be
But
that,
use it in
that
the
should be
right
something
way.
that should ignite fire in you.
Mhm.
but still don't operate out of malice for someone,
Yeah,
right? I mean,
yeah,
just operate out of sheer love or just the well wishing for someone, nothing else.
Correct.
Where were we? Yeah, so how you keep saying that, put in the work, do the work. That's that famous story where a young boy who's like destitute, 1800s, okay, is like complete destitute, asks this rich industrialist guy that how can I get my ticket out of poverty? And the industrialist is like, yeah, this is my train, it's leaving, do you work? Come.
Wow.
So that's just
So
a short story, but
The
million words.
master shows itself. What was that? The teacher?
yeah, when the student is ready,
Exactly.
the teacher appears.
Exactly.
And to I was going to quote AB Chan on one very good quote. Now I forgot it, man.
I'm so sorry.
It's just too late at night, basically. Yeah.
No, but then again, a lot of truth bombs here.
I watched that CRP archive video. I think
Okay.
Ro sent it to me, or I think Ansar sent it to me. So where they talk about 4 capitals. One is
Okay.
your personal capital, is what you put in you, the books you read, the exercise that you do, the content you
Right.
consume, the work that you do, how you educate yourself, and the work you put in. The second, so personal capital. Second one is your when we say capital, everyone is like das Kapital, like the financial capital. No, it's personal. The second one is your social capital, your
Okay.
friends, family, your
who are you surrounding
colleagues
yourself
and
with?
work, your partners,
Yep.
your companion, for that matter. Third one is obviously your financial capital, how much money you have. And the fourth one being the emotional capital. Say if you lose your loved one, or you go through a hard turmoil in your life, is your emotional capital, is your ability to deal with it. So these 4 capitals, it's not just money, man. It's all 4.
I mean, that's
these
what
things.
makes a holistic human, the way I see it.
And the video that I got this from is called is on the channel, Coach Red Pill's channel, CRP Archive. It's called 4 Kinds of Capital.
Yeah.
That's where I got it. And he's explained it with such great insight, with such great stories, with examples and this and that. So people can go and check it out.
But
come on now, let's bring the point back home to the expectations.
I think leading your life with your eyes closed is not going to help you anything, or is not going to lead you anywhere. I think you need to be
closed mouth doesn't get fed.
Never does. Ask and ye shall receive. Be there, put in the work, and I guess everyone's up for greatness in this world. There would be certain things which would be beyond just the materialistic stuff. There would be things which would certainly sort of bring in that bliss which you are yearning for, and the way to it is probably just letting things go. Certain things which are actually hurting you, just let it go. Maybe at times even letting everything go to be at a place of nothingness to receive. You need to sort of try and work on it. I haven't reached there. I am still trying to figure it out, but I'm not expecting any answers to come in soon. Probably there's a particular age that I might have to reach to, or maybe a certain level I need to reach to probably understand that side of myself as well. But then stay committed to your life, stay committed to your processes. I mean, that's just the final probably two Satoshis here.
Choose
yeah.
your suffering wisely.
It should be worth your while.
Yes.
Definitely it should be worth your while. But yeah, don't suffer in your head. I mean, it's a very terrible place to be, right? I mean, what was that quote about that?
When life wants you to change, and the more you resist, the more you'll suffer.
Exactly. So your head is a very funny place to be in. It can be helpful, it can't be. So bring in the good capitals, the 4 capitals that was being talked about. And yeah, I guess coming towards the natural course of the podcast, was a loving and an amazing topic. We weren't really sure as to how long this was going to go to. We were very sure.
Man, you say that at the end of every podcast, like,
yeah,
we weren't
course.
sure of the topic, and then people are going, really? These guys are winging it.
So that's us being humble, perhaps, but I mean that's the truth. We just come here. We come with our life experiences. We bring in people with their life experiences, so that everyone can know that what you guys are not alone. We all are there with you. There are spaces for you to open up. There's our comment section where you can simply say things you loved, things you hated. But then we're committed to our cause. We're committed
to. Please drop heart signs for A.B. Chan's poem. Okay?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and also your numbers into A.B. Chan's DMs. So his back door is almost open, in not in the wrong sense, for sure. For sure. But then,
show yourselves in the comment section.
Oh, absolutely.
That was a very bad time to drink water, because I was going to just spill it all over everything. Yeah.
But then again, that's kind of the natural course. We'll come back again with certain good topic, I guess. Maybe the one which you're talking about, when was the last time you did something for the first time?
Yes.
That's an interesting one. You guys want certain topics that we should talk about. Do drop in a recommendation. Do drop in a comment there. Very, very happy to pick those up. Very happy to feature you guys if you guys want to be on the podcast. Yep. So this is me signing off, leaving you guys with a beautiful track. And this is Mr. V.
A.B. Chan.
And just like Bruno Mars said, I'm going to leave the door open. This is Varun signing off.
So, yep. Ta-da.
Bye.
Peace.
Ta-da. And cut. Say ta-da.
Ta-da.
Ta-da. You just heard the VAbE podcast. And this is us signing off, leaving you all with a beautiful, beautiful track. Music credits in the description below. Find us on the major platforms by Google, Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Links in the description. Show us some love in the comments below. And do tell us what you loved about our thoughts. This is us signing off yet again. Peace.
Would I find you in a jazz club if your friends didn't drag you? Reckless universe playing games, meeting eyes and breaking hearts. And I swear for one moment you were mine and I was yours. Is it cool that your words give me shivers? Is it fine that it makes my heart suffer? Is it okay to tell you so soon? That has been a minute. Look to you, but I'm calling you mine in my head. You're as beautiful as being in love, and now I know it, and that is in you. Do you think I could get over your captivating eyes and carefree soul? Do you think I could get over your raspy voice and radiant smile? I know they'll haunt me in my dreams. Ain't it better if they haunt me with you next to me? Your reputation scared me. Heard you more in love again, but you look to me as if for me you would even fall from grace. And that's when all the pieces fell right into place. Is it cool that your words give me shivers? Is it fine that it makes my heart suffer? Is it okay to tell you so soon? That has been a minute. think I could get over your raspy voice and radiant smile? I know they haunt me in my dreams. Ain't it better if they haunt me with you next to me? Face carved by a sculptor, looting a million lovers. Green eyes, so are you. Could get me levitating. Face carved by a sculptor, looting a million lovers. Green eyes, so are you. Could get me levitating. It's been a minute, I look to you, but I'm calling you mine. In my head, you're as beautiful as being in love, and now I know it, that is in you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That has been a minute, I look to you, but I'm calling you mine. In my head, you're as beautiful as being in love, and now I know it, that is in you. Do you think I could get over your captivating eyes and carefree soul? Do you think I could get over your raspy voice and radiant smile? I know they'll haunt me in my dreams. Ain't it better if they haunt me with you next to me? Come on, let them haunt me with you next to me. Let them haunt me with you next to me. It isn't cool, you made my heart suffer. A dimple smile makes everything better. So is it cool that I told you so soon?